Good morning, good morning, good morning. What is going on? 10:36 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in sunny South Florida. What's the temperature? I don't even know what the temperature is today, but I guess it's nice outside. I haven't been outside yet. So yeah, I've slept in. I did. I slept in. I don't know what it was. I woke up early, let my dog out, then went back to bed. I was like, all right, I'm going back to bed. It's I guess, there's days when you do that. So anyhow, but we're here. It's freaking 10:30. Time to get started. Time to do some work. Yes, the backgrounds today, or for the next couple of, actually I might change them. For the past week or so, the backgrounds have actually been spring related. We talked about these. Had to clear my throat. We talked about these a little bit last time, where they're basically backgrounds that you can put on a big TV, so that way you can have a painting style on your TV instead of it being a TV itself. It will be a framed video piece. But I haven't made these available yet. I have to work on that. Oh, great! It's well slept, Nord. Yes. Rub it in, why don't you? That's right. I slept in today, and you probably didn't get enough sleep. Knowing you, you probably didn't. You're probably still trying to get some sleep, and you're 3 hours in the past. It's still 7:37 a.m. for you. Time to get up, Mr. Brink. Come on. You're not allowed to sleep in. If I'm up, you're up. Well rested. So let me tell you, it's there's this thing. I gotta pause this now. There is this. All right, I've told you this before. Sometimes at night when I'm sleeping, I use music to fall asleep to. So like, there's this one music here, which is this is like, how long is this? I can't even remember. It's live. It's always on. So we have this music. Let's see, where's my volume? All right, so I listen to this when I go to sleep sometimes, but then there's other music that I listen to that puts me to sleep. But last night I found this thing and I wanted to try it out. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pause it, but I'll let it play in a second. So forget the visuals, because I just put this on my iPad. I put my earbuds in and I go to sleep. And I listened to this, and last night I listened to this. And by the way, I think I need to fix my desktop viewer here, because I think it's cutting out. Okay, we'll fix that in a second. So anyhow, so this is kind of it says it's a just one night to manifest success and motivation. It's basically I am affirmations. And I was like, what? So you sleep throughout the night and you listen to somebody telling you are, or not you are, but it says, I am this, I am that, I am. And it's all about like feeding into your subconscious so that you get these positive affirmations. And the next day you wake up and you're like, yes, I can take down everyone. So this is kind of the stuff that it says. I didn't get to listen to the whole thing. I think I listened to only probably, I don't know, 7 hours of it, 6 hours of it, but I was sleeping. And I'll be honest, this was I can hear it in my dreams. It was so weird. I'll tell you a story in a second. So listen to this. This is what it does.
Fear of failure, because every step teaches me something valuable. I deserve to feel good about myself. I am kind to myself in every thought and action.
So I'm just going to skip around.
Improvement.
Watch.
I am always learning and expanding my skills.
I think he has a lisp.
I have the power to create positive change in my life.
Okay, so you kind of get it, but there's things that are like, I will be successful. I can get anything done. It's basically a lot of I am affirmations. And this goes on throughout the entire night, and you sit there and listen. So the next morning you're supposed to wake up and it has like, you have this empowerment feeling. It's in your subconscious somewhere. I guess it works. I'm kind of in a good mood today. I gotta be honest. I haven't been this like awake and in a couple of weeks actually. So Maybe there's something to it. I don't know. But I was a little bit worried about this because I thought, what if in the middle of it somewhere while you're sleeping, it starts giving you bad affirmations like, everyone sucks. Whoever you see that's wearing a red hat, make sure you smack them. You know, I mean, what if it starts saying crazy things and then you wake up and you're like mind controlled? So I don't know. I thought it was funny, but yeah, this kind of stuff supposedly works. Like, I'm not into the whole manifest, you know, like if you think it will happen. I'm not into that. You know me, I'm into more prayer and stuff like that. But I do believe that speaking to yourself in a positive way with positive affirmations does help. It is something that that does like promote you to feel better about yourself, to be able to like just kind of stand through the challenges that you get throughout the day. Because let me tell you, if you don't speak positive to yourself, nobody else will anyways. It's like you're going to hear more negative stuff about yourself from other people. So why not start with you saying good things about yourself? I think that's how it is. This feels like a Black Mirror episode intro. Yeah, it does. But anyways, this is like 11 hours. I'm going to try it for the next couple of days. My wife, though, she said, what was all that whispering at night? So she could hear it through my headphones. And she said it was like, she thought I was like listening to ASMR or something. I'm like, no, honey, I was not. It wasn't Amaranth. It was not. Anyways, hold on. Let me fix this. I got to fix this background here because I'm noticing that some of it is cutting. Okay, this one's correct now. So wait, why is that not right? Hold on a second. Okay, is it correct now? No, it's not. It's so weird. Yeah, it's not correct. Okay, let me fix it. So what happens is that for some reason, it's going to be a little weird for a second. I've got to fix it on the screen live. Thank goodness Meld allows you to do this. And then we're going to make it small again. So it should be like that. And it should go up here. And we usually leave the bottom. If the bottom's fine, it doesn't matter if it's there or not. I'm going to bring it in just a little bit more here on the side. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. All right, that's good. So we'll do it like that. Yeah, it's very strange. Is this one fine? Yeah. I think it's because the last time when we played Red Dead, I had to change the resolution of the actual display. And I think it just kept the old display. So I'm going to run through my screens really quickly and just fix that on all of them, because that seems to be the issue on some of these. They're cut off somewhere. So we'll go ahead and fix that real quick. And we got some work to do today. Today is not game day. And by the way, I'm going to be honest. I remember when Red Dead first came out and I was playing it, and I wasn't really streaming at the time, but I did have a YouTube channel. And every so often, I mean, I have some Red Dead videos that I would put up from when I was playing with my friend Super and Kobayashi. And I would just throw some videos from our gameplay, but we weren't like, I wasn't being a YouTuber or anything. I was just like, I love these videos. I got to keep them. And so we would throw them up. So it was a place for us to like kind of just keep videos of stuff we were doing. But those, some people viewed them. And even though I wasn't promoting them, it wasn't like a lot of people viewing them because like I said, I wasn't streaming or anything back then. But then came along, time has passed. We started streaming. It's been like over 6 years now. And we started playing Red Dead again just recently. We played our first session last Thursday. Can I tell you that video, that live stream, VOD, whatever, of Red Dead, which was probably 4.5 hours long, has gotten the least amount of views from any VOD or whatever stream that I have done on YouTube. Crazy. It's like no one cares. No one cares about Red Dead right now. So it's like I'm like, whoa, maybe I should just not even put it up. So anyway, so I'm supposed to play on Thursday, and I'm just kind of like, maybe I just won't even put it up on YouTube. I don't know. We'll just leave it on Twitch. The thing with Twitch is that when you leave your VODs up, after about within the month or so, I don't know how long it is. It changes from time to time. That video is gone. it'll be gone for good. So I like keeping it on YouTube because later on down the line, I may want to revisit that. Be like, oh, remember we played this and this stupid thing happened. Oh, there it is. It's on video. Stupidity forever. So that's kind of why I still throw it on YouTube. Anyhow, so I don't know if I'm going to do that, but we're doing coffee chat today. We're doing co-working coffee chat. It is on YouTube as well. I don't think anybody goes to it because it's not the thing to watch. I don't know. It's under people and blogs on YouTube. And we are going to be doing some work and doing some chatting. We do have a couple of things on topic here, obviously, that we're going to be working with. As I put in it's not only coffee chat and co-working, obviously it's mockups, PSDs, which is Photoshop files, some little bit of Canva. We're going to do some Midjourney, or at least talk about it, but show you some little examples that I came up with. And Leonardo AI is a big question today because tomorrow is the day that my subscriptions renew. And I had recently just lowered my subscription for Leonardo because I didn't want to cancel it completely. But I'm going to lose a lot of credits if I do that. And I just realized what I can use Leonardo for. So I'm thinking that I might not get rid of it. So we're going to see. So I might have to, because I don't want to lose. I have like 90,000 credits and I will lose about half of those if I go down. So I don't want to do, that's a lot of credits, man. So we're going to see. The other thing is obviously we're going to be talking about Etsy, or showing some Etsy stuff and discussing some things there. And the other big one, because we are going to get a subscription of it, is the ideogram. I did not put that in the topic because it is a very minute conversation compared to everything else. But we're going to see if we're going to decide on getting ideogram or not. This is around the time of year when I redo my subscriptions. So that's why I'm kind of looking at it. Actually, I have like subs that start now in March, like the end of March, like now. And then I also have subscriptions that start in like July. So it's kind of like a few months apart. So we will see. Actually, there's also some in November. They all have to do with stuff that I'm working with. So we will see. Let me check these couple of last screens here. So we got that one. Let's look at news and views. Yeah, that one's cut up. So let's fix that one real quick. Got to double click on it. And then we're going to bring this over here. I think it's in the right place. And then do that. Then we're going to double click back. And then we can resize it. It's terrible when I have to do this. But it happens. It happens sometimes. I don't think it's getting everything, is it? Yeah, I think it's missing something. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's wrong. Yeah, look. See, oh, there's so much more. Hold on. Let's bring you back down here for a second. Do this. There it is. There's so much more of it. I don't think you guys get to see this, dude. No, you don't. You only get to see the end result. Okay. So now we'll put you up in the corner. And then we'll close you up a little bit. And then bring you down. Close you up a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. Sorry, I had to adjust this. And that's fine. Give you some rounded corners. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, that one's good. Let's see which other study time we already fixed. I think, right? Nope. Wait. Did we? Ah, damn it. No wonder it looked weird. Oh my gosh, there's so much. Jeez. Yeah, I was wondering why it looks off. And it's because not all of it was there. Yeah, this is annoying. So that's the only thing about Red Dead that I hated, is the fact that I couldn't I had to change my display for whatever reason because it wouldn't do it on the game. And I hate that when I launch a game and it like takes over all of my displays and then I can't do anything. All right, there you go. How's that? That's better. Okay, so that one's fixed now. Now I gotta fix this one too. Did I do it right here? No, I did not. Okay, hold on. Oopsie. Now is it right? Now it's right. Okay. Fix it. Fix it. Perfect. What else has a screen? Desktop live? Yeah, it does. Okay. Last one. This should be the last one. I don't think I can fix this one. Oh, it's locked. That's why. Unlock it. Okay. So we have to do this first. Watch this. So we got to make it small. And then we got to click on it. And then we can see all of it. We'll bring it over here. Bring it over here. What's going on, Loco? Good to see you, man. Okay, now it's good. So now we'll put it back where it belongs. Perfect. That works. Okay, so that's done. So full cam should be fine. Nope. Blah, 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 blah. One second. Okay. There we go. Is that right? There we go. Okay, it's fixed. Whew. I don't think I have it anywhere else. Be right back screen. Nope. We're good. We're good. Okay, cool. Just one more thing to check. I hate when I have to do this. It's like this is something that, like I said, certain games when you play them, they will screw up, and then that happens. Okay. All right, just got to move over a little bit. Let me check my full cam over there. Yeah, I'm fine. This feels a little wrong, but is it this way? Or is it the other way? Yeah, it's fine. Okay. All right, good. It's all work, man. It's all work. This is the League of Legends stream, right? No, it's not. Good morning, man. How you doing? Good to see you. This is actually a work stream. If I can get my work started here, a couple of things that I actually was trying to figure out. I was working with some mockups, and if I look at the mockups I was using before, they were very. I'm gonna find them. They were very. What can I say? Ornate for the frames. So they're kind of a little too, I like to call them gaudy. And basically, meaning that nobody really has a house. Well, I'm sure they are, but I'm sure they're not on Etsy. That looks like these mock-ups. And so I think it's the actual mock-ups is a distractor or a deterrent from the actual piece of art print that's in them. And if I can find them for a second, I want to show them to you. I think they should be under here. Frame art. Okay, let's see. NWD vertical frames, room mockups. Is it the room mockup ones? No, it's not the one. Sorry. It's the vertical. We'll try the vertical frames. Yeah, there's some in here. Okay. There we go. All right. So check this out. So these are some of the mockups I was using before. And just to give you kind of an idea, let's say, for example, this one. Can I open this, please? I don't want to open it up in Photoshop. I just want to open it up in like Photos. So this is a little bit too much, you know? This is like, it's listen, don't get me wrong. It's nice. It serves its purpose. But when you're looking at a print, this is not like I don't have anything like this at home. You know what I mean? So it's like it doesn't. How can you tell if it fits your house? Now here's another one. So I'll give you another example. So let's say I have something like this. If we use this as a mock-up, let's open this up in photo. Same thing. It's like no. I mean, I don't know anyone right now. I used to. I don't know anyone that had a house where this would fit, right? It's nice, but I get what you mean. It's distracting. Exactly. It's like, yeah, no, you can't look at this and be like, oh, this would look great in my house. I would have that in my house. Yeah, no, I definitely see. That's the thing. I like this. And if I found this, I would definitely buy it and put it up in my room somewhere. Definitely. I think the style is great. But when you think about the average person that's shopping on Etsy, they don't have a room like this. So it makes no sense. That picture makes me sneeze. So that's not good. I'll give you another example. There's one that's really like, I think it's in the other set. Let me go to the other set. Hold on. So I'll go to the other set here. I believe it says vertical. It should be the horizontal ones. Okay. So the horizontal ones, it's the dark ones that I'm thinking, oh, it's not here. Where is it? Hold on. I got to go back. Is it it's the vertical wild? I think it's got to be in here. Maybe I just missed it. That's not here. Okay, but still, here's another example here's another good example. Hello. Computer's acting a little crazy today. Open with. Yeah, this is another great example. I mean, really? So it's kind of like, it doesn't really help. Not to mention that it is so small. You know, like the picture frame is so small. So I used some of these frames or some of these mock-ups for a couple of my pictures. And then the other ones that I used were something like this. Open with photos. Okay. Something like this, which is also a little bit too much. So unless you're selling that frame itself, it's a little bit too much. Now, like I said, it's beautiful frame. And if you want to like give your thing, it's like in a gallery, that's great. But realistically, if you're trying to make like someone look at your art print and be like, yes, I could see that in my house, I would totally buy that. This is not the way to go. Now, I had been told that before and I kind of brushed it off and like laughed about it and be like, whatever, man. It's just a mock-up. It's like, it's a cool frame. It's supposed to give it some like, you know, some class. And so that's what my idea was behind using some of these. But in truth, yeah, no, this is a deterrent. This is like getting in the way of being able to showcase your work. So I do have other ones, obviously. So when you look at Etsy, you're going to see more of these type of frames and there's a difference between this and the other ones. So you'll see something like this, maybe not exactly this, but I'm just saying something along the lines of a simple wooded frame, a white wall. Can't go wrong with a white wall. People have white walls. Now it should have a little more color in it. I get it, but this is at least a little bit better because you can at least see it. It doesn't take away from whatever was in here. And I don't have a picture in there right now, but it at least will showcase whatever's inside. So that's good. That's a step in the right direction. I wouldn't say that's exactly the one. This one, I believe, would be a good example as well. This is a good example because you've got some first of all, you got some sunlight. That's a good thing. And you got some earthy tones. And you have a regular standard kind of medium dark wood frame. So that would work as well. So that's kind of the idea. It's like you want to get something that's going to complement but not distract your art print that you're selling. So a couple of these are still good. I like, for example, I really like this one, but this might be a no. Like I think I'm using this one in some of mine. And this might be a no because it's kind of like, it's blue. Not a lot of people have a room like this. Not a lot of people are looking to put in a blue frame. And, excuse me, not only that, maybe the art print doesn't work with the blue, color. So that's kind of a hindrance. You want something that's more neutral. So a lot of these are no's, I would say, but this is something that I used because I was looking more for the art of the mock-up rather than the art of the print. And that's where I kind of gave myself a disservice. So I had to redo them. But by the way, I also looked at something like a cozy room for the wildlife ones. And again, I understand I was trying to make my mock-ups fit the art, but it's still a little bit over the top. Let me see if I can make these bigger. Okay. So these here, some of these were made like, okay, so the room, let's look at this one, for example. The room was done so that you could put a frame up there, right? Once again, it's you're trying to show something that goes with the image. In this case, this is the wildlife collection that I was doing. So the image was about wildlife, but you're trying to make up a room to match your artwork. And it doesn't work that way. Your artwork should be able to fit in any room. And it's just the frame that you put around it is what's important. So that's kind of what I was looking at. And I ended up, I don't think I used any of these. Actually, I did use this one. Now this is one that I think actually works. So this was fine because this is kind of an old rustic look. And it's a common look for most people that have that farmyard kind of country farmyard or whatever look. It's not a bad look. I don't know. There's a word for this one, but I really like this one. This one actually works. So I'm okay with this. It's not over the top. Solid thin black frame might work too, just my opinion. Yes, that's what I do in mockups, thin black frame with a white mat. I like that, and I do have some like that, but I don't think that's the only option that I would put up. So let me show you some of the examples of what I'm working with. So these are a couple of examples here, actually. Let me go ahead and open this. So these are some new ones that I'm putting up. So this is a thin black frame. The only problem with this one, and I have redone it, is if you notice, it is actually skewed because it's leaning up against a wall. So when you put the image in, the image is going to be skewed, and you'll have to in Photoshop, you'll just have to warp it, skew it, not warp it, so that it would actually fit. Because otherwise, if you notice, it goes in more than out down here. So that's not it should be straightforward. I have to sneeze. And now let's go to the next one. Let's see. Can I do the next one on this? Yeah. So this is a nice one. This is a very simple bohemian look, kind of like just a plain light background. This is the style that you see most mock-ups that you see on Etsy. You'll see something light like this. So that's where it works. Right next to the singing bass. Wait a second. What are you guys talking about? So does my dogs playing poker fit in my bedroom? Absolutely. The painting fits anywhere. Right next to the singing bass. I think my wife would say I and the painting would have to go. Oh man. The playing poker thing is a classic. What are you talking about? All right, so that's a simple one. Now this works because not only is it giving you the kind of a little bit of a higher class room with the gold frame, it is a simple gold frame that you really can get anywhere. I mean, I've seen frames like this in freaking Target. I've seen frames like this at Michael's. So it's something that you can get as a ready-made frame. The wall is still a light colored. Yes, there is some texture to the wall or so forth. There's some greenery, but it's still a simple enough that I think it works. It's a nice simple frame, even though it's gold. It's not ornate. It doesn't have gold leaf on it. All right, so let's move on. So the next one. So here's another good example. I might get rid of some of the stuff at the bottom here, but random basket with some flowers on the side. You got a sun hat there, maybe a wooden spoon that shouldn't be there, but okay. But look at the frame. The frame is a simple dark wood frame on a white or off-white background. This works as well. It's very simple. It could be in somebody's home, but the idea is that, simple frame on a simple wall that could be anybody's wall. And there you go. So that works. Let's look at this one. Now, of all of them, this is probably the least common, but it still works. And the reason why is that the frame is a good size and it's a simple style frame. It's a whitewash frame, wooden frame that looks like someone handcrafted it together. And there are frames out there like this. I think I actually own one. And so this still works, even though the background or the wall is textured and it looks like somebody's garage. There is a style like this around that people do have a wall like this, but it's not. It still kind of fits. Like it's not so extravagant that people would be like, "Oh, wow, that's woof. There's no way I would ever live in a house like that." So it kind of works. I think you and the frame will get lots of peace and quiet in the garage. Nice. Damn, Nord saying frame like 50,000 times stuck in my head. Frame. I have seen that exact frame in the beach house in Texas when I did cleaning service. There you go. So you see. So this is what I'm saying. It's like you will see stuff like this. All right. So that's why I started redoing frames. Now, what does it look like with a fee? This is just random art, so it's not like it's something I'm selling. But here, I'll give you a couple of examples. Let's open this one up here. This is fine. So randomly with just an image in it, see how you can appreciate the image in it. Now, again, this is not an image that's for sale or anything. It's just a random image I put up, probably randomly generated by me. And see, even in this setting, you can still appreciate the picture. It's like the picture, you're being drawn to the actual art print. It's also where it's at too. Location is everything, like composition. So let's go to the next one. All right, this one doesn't have it. Sorry. Oh, wait, did I go all the way back? Okay. This is a little skewed, but don't worry about it being skewed. But the fact that, again, you can appreciate the print that's inside, not so much the outer area. Okay. There it is again. You can still appreciate the print. And so that's what you want. You want the print to stand out more than the actual background. And even in this one, it stands out. So that's kind of what I've been looking at. And a lot of times we try to make our actual images, our mock-up images, a little bit over the top to stand out. But the problem with that is that when we do this, we take away from the image that we're selling itself. It's like, what are you selling, the image or the background? So for example, let's say if we went to by the way, this links right here, that's mine. I'm coming up on the first search for 8x10 art prints. Anyways, that's mine right there. But you see how it doesn't take away? It's still, you can appreciate the image. That's pretty. Let me bring that up closer. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So look, you're scrolling through, you see how you can see the image, the background isn't taken away from it. That's pretty good. Okay. So now let's just let's look for one. I know there's some on here. I think, is this the person? No, maybe it's that person. But notice how they're all basically on either plain white backgrounds or they're very light colored. I swear, is this, what is going on? It's so slow. The scrolling is slow today. I'm trying to find, there was one that was really like over the top. Okay, why is it scrolling so slow on here? It's like scrolling down is taking forever. Let me go back. Can I go back to 100%, please? Reset. Thank you. Maybe that will make a difference. I don't know. Okay, no, that's not good. Let me look for one. All right, maybe this person. There's one of these. I can't remember which one it is. If I go to the actual person, by the way, I don't. Okay. So all of theirs are dark. That's their theme. Their theme is to use the same background, But notice they're also using the ornate ones. So if we looked at one of their pieces, okay, they are using the dark backgrounds. Now, just by looking at this, and I'll put this on the big screen for a second using views. Just by looking at this, it's really, it takes away from the actual image. Like this right here, I can't appreciate the art print. I like the art print, but I can't appreciate the art print with the background of the mock-up. Does that make sense? By the way, what can I put this on? No, I don't want that light on. I have to put my light on in a second because I think I'm way too dark, but we'll see. First frame was better. Yeah, but I think that what works for them is the fact that they have like this. It's a solid background, and I get it because they have that kind of dark style. So their mock-ups are going to be dark. If you put this on a light background, it's not going to fit. So I get that. I like that they're using this. But once you get into something along this line, that's way too busy. And I think that's the deal. Oh, Hyde is here. Good morning, Hyde. Good to see you. Please be nice. So anyway, so that's the idea. That's why this doesn't. This is the reason why. If all your images were like this, that's tough. That's a tough one. Like all your mock-ups. So as you can tell, and by the way, if we could look at top sellers, let's just go ahead and filter out so we can see the majority of them are using the light backgrounds. So we'll do a physical. I tell you, Chrome is really biting it today, man. It's like, it's really slow. I'll have to switch over. We can do that. We'll do star seller, show results. Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay, hold up. Get rid of you. You piece of crap. Okay. I'm going to leave you two up here. Sorry, I was just checking something. Okay. So let's look at I would acrylic box that thing, to be honest. Acrylic box? Not familiar with that term. I'm happy as long as Nord stops making bougie vampire house mock-ups. Exactly. Okay, so sometimes certain mock-ups fit. This one here in the middle, this is one of mine. But notice that for me, that frame fits that piece. And by the way, that's great that it's coming up under 8. It comes up on the first page. That's pretty damn good. But again, I mean, that frame works for what it is, but not everybody has that frame. So you don't want to turn people off and be like, you have to have that frame for it to look that good. So that's why, yes, you're right. These two are mine right here. This one and this one. Okay. Let me go back close. So I'm going to do I'm definitely not going to be in this filter. So I'm going to write, let's see, physical, and it's going to be star sellers. And then I'm going to click results, and I'm no longer there. This shop isn't a star seller yet. Okay. Then we're going to go up here and we're going to change it to best sellers. Ones that sold the most. Press enter. Okay. So now we'll look at these frames. Okay. There was a frame like that. What's up, Guino? Good to see you, man. Good morning. So here, if you look at these, they're on light backgrounds, right? Most of them. Except for this one. And now this, let's go ahead and open that one. So that doesn't work for me. I think this one would probably work better because at least you can see the outline of it. But that in itself basically draws my eye to all the darkness out here. So it kind of gets lost in there. I think that something like this lighter would have been nicer. I think that maybe even this one. But again, very busy backgrounds takes away from what you're showing. It's like the flowers are hidden within the flowers. So that's where, for me, that's kind of what I'm going to try to avoid now. I know you dig it. I know you dig the picture, but it's not the picture we're talking about. You missed the first half of the stream. We're talking about mock-ups that don't work, and that I need to change on mine. Hold on a second. The picture, yes, we dig the picture, obviously. Hold on one second. I need to get my lighting on here. Woo, that's bright. Okay. What the hell? I can't type control. Where is it? Control center. Thank you. I think I'm too yellow. Give myself a little bit of blue. Really? Remind me later. Okay, that's better. Thank you. So there we go. But the rest of these, you can tell they're on like a light background. So that kind of works a little bit better. Like this is kind of nice here. Let's look at this one. You see how it's on a light colored background, but most of them are just on a wall. I still like to have a little bit of the room. It's an owl, not a flower. Yeah, Hyde, we have to show up to class on time, apparently. That's right, you do, damn it. I get what you're saying. I'm partial to invisible frames. Well, yes, but that's the point, and that's the point we're trying to make. If their frames are way too, like, these are okay because they're very thin frames, and that's what works. But with my frames, if you would have been here on time, anyways, on my frames that I showed you that I was using are they're very large, they're very ornate. I know that gets her every time. They're very ornate, they're very bulky, they're very extravagant. So therefore it takes away from being able to visualize the print in your house or not. Even something like this would probably be a little bit too much, but not terrible. This is now, I've seen frames like this around, but they're usually custom frames. So this isn't terrible, but this is still a little bit over the top. Now you have it in two different colors. I prefer this color. And this is something that I would look at and be like, oh, I see. On light colored frame, that looked really good. On this one, it looks terrible. So that's just me. Now you can also look at it in this thin, very white frame that you can get at Michael's. It looks perfect. So yes, that works. You can look at it in this wooden one. Okay, that looks great, but I don't live in a haunted house. So you see what I'm getting at. So that's what I have to take into consideration for my images that are not working as mock-ups because of that. Go click my link. I buy those for vast majority of my prints. We're not trying to sell people frames, Hyde. That's not what we're doing, but okay. Okay. Hyde wants everyone to see the frames that she bought. These are the frames she buys. Very thin. I personally like to see a frame. I don't like this. I like to see frames. Is this glass? Is this like plastic? The box ones? Oh, I don't like these at all. This reminds me of the 70s. Ooh, no. No, I don't like these at all. I see what you're saying. I know, like Listen, if I'm going to put something up with no frames, it's going to be a canvas. And I have a few canvases up like that have no frames on them. That's different. But as far as like if I'm putting up smaller or whatever art prints, I tend to have them, if they're not canvases, they're going to be in frames. What's your point, old man? I change my art too often. It's still terrible. You can change your art with Michael frames, okay? Michael's has frames. Here, I get these. Really? Come on. What in the hell is going on? Okay. That was weird. It just got really small. So like these. I love these frames. What is happening here? Look at this, like it turned tiny. All right. These frames are perfect. And you get 25% off. I think these frames are great. Just like that. And they come in multiple colors. Like they have them in light, like a light wood grayish color. They have them in white. They have them in black. And they come in all standard sizes. And this is okay. It's not a big, thick frame. I get these all the time. I have a bunch of these. That's just me, though. So that's what I have to do. Oh, now I'm really white. Okay. What's your point, old man? You were there for the 70s too, Bucko. I was. That's what I'm saying. That's why I know. It's from the 70s. It's from my grandma's house. I never said, "Oh, you're from the 70s." I was saying the frame. You guys are such jerks. I was saying the frame was from the 70s style. I didn't say, "Oh, because you're old." I mean, I'm old. I always point that out. There's nothing wrong with being from the 70s, okay? Or from the 1900s. Don't really remember the 70s, though. Well, that happens when you take too many of the non-prescription stuff. Not because I was born at the end of the 70s. Yeah, freaking 80s babies. Anyways, so that's what's going on with those mock-ups. So, just now figure out your jerks. My whole community is jerks. But you're nice jerks. You're not like Asmongold community jerks. That's different. Should we talk a little bit about news before I get started here? Maybe. Ty's like, no, we don't want to talk about news. You sure? Some good stuff. Something on my mind. Something on my mind. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I don't care. Okay, let's see. Go for it. Okay, first let me say where is this guy at? I'm gonna get hate for this, but that's okay. But this is just how it is. This is just how it is. Okay, this guy right here. Oh my God. Does he or does he not look like a villain from a Marvel comic? Or DC? Doesn't he look like he this looks political. Well, I'm going to try not to be, but yeah, I'm just going to point out where I stand on something. But this guy looks like he is a freaking villain from one of the Marvel movies, or I'm telling you, he just does. He has that villain look. He does. I'm sorry, he does. he is a henchman. Yes, he looks like a henchman. He definitely does. Listen, if you watched any freaking medieval movie, then there was the guy that was the henchman in the movie, it would be him. Okay, that's just what he is. Let's call it what it is. I mean, yeah. Now, when I think of the word, they call him a czar, the border czar. First of all, I hate that word, because to give that to a government appointee, there's the drug czar. It's a person that was appointed by the government, whatever, to advise on. And I get what the name is, but that word is more commonly known and used as an emperor of Russia, right? That's what a czar is. That's what I grew up learning history, that a czar was that. Okay, it wasn't somebody that was a government official here in the States. So it's just so weird. But anyways, this guy, to me, every time I see him and then I see him speak, I'm like, is he the villain for the Daredevil series that I'm watching right now? I mean, I don't know. That's what he looks like. Now, I get he has a job to do. And let me just say this, because I'm talking about this and I want people to understand where I stand, because I'm not saying like, boo, you're getting to my Spanish people. No, that's not what it is. First of all, I do have a passport. I was born here. I am from the States, so I didn't swim over to the country and get in here illegally. No, I'm not. I'm a legal citizen. I was born here, and so forth. All right, that's how it is. And I am all for the idea of, if someone is here illegally, yes, they should not be here. That in itself is a crime. I completely 100% agree with that. Okay. It's Wilson Fisk. Nice. So I 100% agree with the fact that if you're here illegally, you have committed a crime. It is a crime. You're here illegally. But there are three differences in when you are looking at someone that is an illegal immigrant. Okay. There are three big differences. Number one is the fact that there was illegal immigrants that have come into the country and have committed that crime of coming into the country illegally and are here and are not supposed to be here. They have not committed another crime while here, and two, they're not gang members. Okay. So the only crime they committed was coming over. But yes, that's a crime in itself. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm trying to differentiate. I'm trying to show you there's three different types of illegal immigrants. Okay. So number one is the one that came over illegally, is here illegally, but has not committed any other crimes while here, is actually working, is trying to make money to send back to his family. And two, they don't belong to any gangs. That's number one. Number two are the ones that have come over here illegally. So they're illegal immigrants. That's number one, remember? And then number two, they have committed crimes while they're here, whether it's burglary, whether it's whatever it is, as high as probably killing someone, either manslaughter or by, not intentionally or intentionally. Okay, yes, there are those, but they're not gang members. Okay, so that is the second phase. Now, the third type is they've come in here illegally. They're illegal immigrants. They have committed crimes while they're here, including, like I said, small crimes up to big crimes, anywhere in between, including killing someone. Which, by the way, I'm not touching lightly on that. I'm just saying that's what it is. And number three, they are also gang members. Okay, so see the three big differences. Now, when you're dealing with those three, there's three different ways that they're supposed to be, that they would be deported. And this is in my view. And this is where, and by the way, I'm going to read your comments, but I'm going to get through my thought first. And this is where I think that there's three ways of handling these type of deportations. Do they get due process? No, they shouldn't, because of the fact that I don't think there is a due process as far as like hearing their day in court, because all three categories have come in here illegally, should not be here. They should be deported back to their countries. Now, here's what happens. The U.S. did make a deal with El Salvador that their gang members, their criminal gang members that are here illegally are going to be sent over there. And that's what that jail was made for. Why? Because El Salvador had a huge problem with gangs, and they made this specific prison system And basically everyone that's in there was a member of a gang. And so therefore it makes sense that illegal immigrants that are criminals that are also gang members here that have, whatever, they're going to go there. But that doesn't mean that all of the deportated immigrants should go there. And that's where it falls into these question marks. Like, has there been any that have been sent over there that are not gang members? Yes. Can they get out of there now? Who knows? They're probably lost in the system now. But that's what I'm saying. It's like when you lump all three categories up, and some of them have never even had a crime. They don't belong to a gang. They did come over illegally. Yes, they should be deported, but they shouldn't be being sent to a prison. Now, should they be sent to Guantanamo? I can never say that. Guantanamo Bay? Probably not either. They should be deported back to their country. Yes, absolutely. Because they should not be here, but they also did not commit any other crimes while here. They just didn't do it the right way. So send them back to their country. I get it. Now, yes, there is a factor that if their country's not willing to take them, then where do you send them? Then that's why places like the Guantanamo Bay holding, whatever, exist until they figure it out. But why would you send someone that their only crime that they've committed is coming over illegally to a freaking terrorist prison? It makes no sense to me. And that's what the problem is. And when this guy that I have on my screen is asked about this, they don't even discuss that. They're like, in their mind, and honestly, this guy probably thinks every person that speaks Spanish is here illegally until they show otherwise. And that's what's wrong with this. And this is just my opinion, but that's what's wrong with this. It's the idea that if he looks at me and I'm Spanish and I haven't said a word, and he probably will think that I don't even speak English, he will probably think I'm an illegal alien, illegal immigrant, until I present the facts otherwise. That's bad. And that's kind of what's going on. Now, I've seen some videos where I'm not saying all the Border Patrol people that are in ICE are all white American, but all the videos that I've seen so far, there's not one single Spanish or black agent working on that. I always see these white guys that look a lot like this guy. I'm not saying they're all that way, because I did the lookup, and there are some, supposedly, according to the population of Border Patrol people that are in ICE, there are Spanish guys, there are black guys and so forth, and women, I'm sure. But every single video that I've seen about deporting and how ICE comes in and takes over people are all guys that look like this guy. And that's freaking crazy when you think about it, because if they have the same mentality that this guy probably has, and I really feel strong that he does, is that he will look at you, and if you're Spanish and if you look like someone that's an illegal immigrant, he's going to think you're an illegal immigrant first before you can prove it. That's bad. That's what we shouldn't be doing. So anyways, I needed to get that out. I wanted to talk about that because I'm for the whole thing. If you're here illegally, you should not be here, because of there's a liability from our side. There's liability from your side. Listen, it's not good, especially if you are if by chance, let's say, for example, crazy scenario, you are trying to get away from the police because you're hiding out. You're not doing anything wrong, but you are trying to hide. And you're running and you're driving away because you don't have a driver's license, and you get into an accident and kill someone unintentionally. Guess what? That's not good. That is not good. So therefore, yes, you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here, period. Come here the right way. But I don't think this blanket pickup and calling everyone a gang member and calling everyone, like, being that the only crime that some of these people have made is coming over to the country legally. That's the only crime they've done, because it is a crime. You can't lump them in with people that have been murderers or hijackers or rapists or whatever and say that they're all like that. That's wrong. And it's very sad. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And reason I'm saying anything about this is because I was watching an Asmongold take on this. And listen, I get it. The guy says stuff for content, and sometimes he says stuff that he really does believe. And his he just has a fucked up warped sense of view on how things work. It's like, bro, I get it. They are illegal and they should not be here. Bottom line, yes. But there's more to it than just that. You can't just say, get the fuck out and, you know, and deal with it with that approach, because then the mentality of the people that are enforcing it is also the, I don't want to hear it, get the fuck out. That's not the way you deal with that. And that's what's wrong. And I'm not saying let's tie up the courts with, you know, 800 million or whatever it is, the number that they're throwing out. If you're illegal and you shouldn't be here, you should be deported. But again, there's 3 categories. Are you going to send everybody to the El Salvador terrorist prison? No, because not all gang members. And not all of them committed a crime other than coming into the country. So that's where I stand with that. It's just crazy. All right, let me read some of your comments before we move on, and then we'll go from there. I gotta get started on some of this work, but I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. And again, this is co-working with Coffee Talk. Before I start working, I always like to chat. Speaking of which, I'll bring up my work, and then let's go to desktop. No, news and views. We'll go to news and views. That way I can read your comments. Okay, so let me read a couple of this. Because I was saying how this guy looked like a henchman. Some of you guys did agree with that. He looks like me in my 20 years. No, bro, you did not look like that guy. There's no way. Don't even say that. Don't even say that about yourself. That is 100% inaccurate. Yes, you might have been bald and so forth, but your face did not look like you were freaking Kingpin or the freaking Pigwin / Kingpin. Okay, no. He is grade A asshat. Yeah, okay. Well, let's see. This is somebody that deals with stuff, that she knows what's going on. All these bozos are NPCs. That's what they look like. It's unfortunate. Yeah, and it's not a government given title. It's a government taken one. Yes, absolutely. I don't think czar is any title that we should be using for anybody in the government here in the States. What is next? King? Let that sink in for a moment. He's Wilson Fisk, 100%. That's basically the bad guy from the Spider-Man and from he's a DC. No, is it Marvel? No, he's Marvel. From Daredevil. Yeah, well, apparently, even if you are a legal resident with a green card, you can be deported without due process. So whatever, no one is safe. That's what I'm talking about. That's the scary part, is that people that are legal, you know, are here legally, have a green card and so forth. They're like, nope. They will find a reason to say, yeah, but you had an infraction, you committed a crime, get out. Like, you had traffic tickets, get out. You know what I mean? I mean, it's gonna be stupid like that. Oh, your cousin is friends with a guy that has a nephew that is in a gang, you're out. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. Like, oh, I saw you talking to some guy that has tattoos, you're out. You know, it's getting stupid. My nephew's wife got deported. She came on a work visa. They met and fell in love years ago, almost a decade. She was in the final stages of citizenship and they deported her. She is from Spain. See, it's crazy like that. They are like canceling a lot of people out. It's almost like, oh, you're not an engineer or a scientist, get out. Seriously. Her visa never lapsed. She did all the things she was required to do, didn't matter. And this is the sad part about this, is it's just a big giant blanket. That's how it is now. It's got to be hard to vet them though. Not like they're going to admit they are in the gang. Yeah, but the thing is, I get that 100%. But this is why you do investigations. This is why you watch them. This is why you don't have to, I guess you can't physically do interviews, but this is where, I mean, according to them, they have a great investigation system and all that. And they have a lot of information and stuff like that. But that's almost as bad as saying, if somebody calls up and says, hey, I think my neighbor is selling weed and he got rid of his batch, but he was selling it last week. He grows in his backyard, and they're going to come over and they're like, oh, we got a tip. You're selling weed. You're under arrest. You're growing in a backyard, but I don't have any. Yeah. You just sold it all. I mean, that's it. There's got to be something that ties people to it. because it's meant to show his base just how tough he is on this. It's a cart and pony show. Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing. I get it. And this is what Asmongold's dumbass take on it. I'm sorry, bro. Usually I laugh and stuff and can be entertained by Asmon. But in this particular case, this is where his stupid take is like, this is what you got to do. You got to be tough because that way you scare anybody else from committed the crime. No, you just have to enforce the laws. There's a difference between being a let's make an example of everyone and be freaking crazy motherfuckers and enforcing the law. There's a difference. You're here illegally. You can't come in here, or you came in, you're illegal. You have no documentation. You shouldn't be here. Going back to your country. Oh, wait, you're in our prison system and you're here illegally? Oh, hell no, you're getting out. You're definitely going to prison somewhere else out of our country. Oh, wait, you're here illegally and you're a freaking gang member? Oh, yeah, you're definitely fucking getting out. I get that. But not just like, you know what I mean? There's no offense to gang members, man. You want to live that life, you take that risk. I've never been in a gang, so I don't know what that life is like, but I can tell you, I never wanted to take that risk. So that's just, call me a wuss, whatever. It's not my lifestyle. But this people choose what they want to do. And sometimes, and I'll be honest, I hate to say it, and it has nothing to do with like gangs from other countries. I'm talking about even like what people just call any groups, gatherings, gangs. But sometimes this is the problem, is that we need to fix this in this system here that's broken. Sometimes there are kids growing up in certain parts of the country that have no other option or feel like they have no other option than to join a gang in order to make something of themselves. That's sad when people have nowhere else to turn and feel like that's their only option. Because I can almost guarantee you that there's got to be a large group of guys that are in gangs that probably wish that if they had another option, they would have done it. And I'm not talking about just Spanish gangs. I'm not talking about foreign gangs. I'm talking about regular, just everyday gangs that you see here in the States. And that's sad. Because cameras can't get into Guantanamo Bay, out of sight, out of the news. Yes. Pandering to their base. Which is why we should give them due process, even if not citizens, so we don't screw it up and send them where they belong. That's kind of the thing. It's like you have to figure out who someone is and where they're from and what they've done in order to kind of figure out how to deal with them. And unfortunately, yes, that is a type of due process, but that costs money. Absolutely. It's a tough situation. I get it. I don't have the answer for it, but I can tell you that this is not the best answer. I kind of wish they would deport me to Spain. I wish they would deport me to Spain. Nice. A good part of Spain, like Madrid. They set me up there. Can they deport me to Norway? Yeah, I'd like to be deported to the Netherlands, please. People don't understand that they don't need a reason because they don't need to comply with due process. It's illegal as fuck, but this administration has zero fucks for rules of law. Correct. And that's the thing. It is illegal, so therefore they're not citizens, so they don't get the due process thing. But there's still a way of dealing with it instead of just being like, nope, fuck you, going in a hole. Sorry. By the way, I'm cursing a lot. I apologize ahead of time. They've ignored all judge orders so far, and yeah, zero fucks. Now, there is something about the whole judge thing I'm not going to touch on, but there is something that I believe that Congress had passed a long time ago when that actual act was put into place that they're using now, and that basically gave the president power over even the judicial system in this regards. And that is something that is Congress's fault for doing it way back then. So therefore, there is that loophole that judges, supposedly not even the Supreme Court, can stop them from using this act and actually enforcing it. That it's and that's very scary to think about. But again, this was written during, I believe it was World War II. So I know it was after a war, so it's a little bit different. But hey, they're just throwing it. If it sticks, they're going to use it. it wasn't sometimes they took some law that was from like this 1700s, but because some of it fit what they needed, they went ahead and used it. I don't know if it was this time or last administration, which is kind of crazy. Here's a rabbit hole for you, very timely one. Go read up on the wave experiments. I'll read that later. First time in office, he was putting kids in cages, so I don't see how anyone is surprised to go this around. He told everyone what he was going to do every chance he got. The only ones surprised are the ones who thought it would be impacting someone else, not them. Correct. This is what I said. I said this from before. Listen, my only concern was that no one was going to be able to stop whatever it is that he wanted to do. He was just going to do it. And that's the truth. And listen, don't get me wrong. There are some things that need to be done, but there are different ways of getting it done. And in the end, I've heard people say, as close as someone in my own family, not in my house, but in my own family. There's a difference. Not in my house, but in my own family, I've heard someone say, it's the end results that matter. That is not true. I don't like that statement. It doesn't matter how you get there or how you get something done, as long as you get it done. I don't like that mentality. And you know, sometimes that works for, like, I can think of that at work. Like, I know cases where we were working on something and we're like, you know what, whatever it takes, just get it done. And we would get it done. But that didn't mean like illegal things. We got it done within the reason of doing our job. You know what I mean? That's different than doing, you know, guys, I need $100,000 by the end of the year. Whatever it takes, I'm going to get it. Now, I'm going to go, what am I going to do? Does that mean I'm going to go and rob a bank? That means I'm going to hold up people? I'm going to start stealing stuff and selling it? No, within reason. Come on. Sorry. I know this is a lot longer than I wanted to talk about this, but I'm still reading your I want to finish reading your comments because I don't like to ignore you. There are plenty of people in this country who are fine with this, all of this. Yeah, and that's because it's not affecting them. Oh man, if it was affecting them, they'd be like, oh, yelling. Wait till it does affect them, though. Send me to New Zealand. Hyde will go with you. Even in 1798, they realized it was illegal. There you go. Though they didn't repeal it. They should have. This is the thing, that they left this out there for somebody to use. By the way, I have another thing I want to say. Let me finish reading this. I'm just going to say one more thing after this, and I'll be done. This is just in general. That's what he's using, the Alien and Section Acts of 1798. That's the one, the 1700s, last used during World War II. Correct. Are we talking about Cheeto Man? Yeah, well, not specifically Cheeto Man. And I did not call him that. He did. All right, just saying. I'm reading what he said. I don't want to get in trouble because, yeah, I don't need that kind of heat. All right. Okay, he is looping. He's looping for anyone else. Am I looping? Nor to start sell bathwater. You would buy it. More about Mr. Fisk. Gotcha. Yeah, Mr. Fisk. Okay. Here we go. So let me just tell you this last thing. So we got this out of our system. We're fine. It's screwed up. We hope that all we can do is pray that the people that are not gang members don't end up in a terrorist prison. But yes, they should be sent back to the country where they should recoup and figure out if they want to come to the States, how can they make it here legally if there is a system for them. That's the bottom line. Now, can I just say this? All the changes, let's not talk, by the way, we're not going to drag this on. This is just a comment I'm going to make and talk about the comment. Don't add to it. Isn't it weird how this guy is going to be president for 4 years? So he has 4 years to do whatever the hell he wants as presidency. And he's tearing down all these systems, all these departments, cutting all these jobs, getting rid of all these roles. And then after 4 years, whoever takes over is going to do something completely different. Isn't it crazy when you think about it? It's like, I always thought that when you It's almost like going camping. You go camping, you rent an area to camp in, okay? The one rule is, oh, don't start. Don't start. Hold on, Guino. Hold on. One rule with camping is leave nature or the area how you how you received it, right? I think that's kind of everything. You want to leave whatever place you're using for whatever amount of time how you found it. That's the bottom line. But it's like, I'm just thinking to myself, holy crap. I think all this craziness and all these changes is for the next 4 years. But what's going to happen afterwards? Will Department of Education come back? Will, the the U.S. aid come back? Will we be back with NATO? I mean, it's like crazy. All right, let me read this. Hold on. Allegedly, and you didn't hear? Oh, I did not. That's what I found funny about politics. You take 4 years to do something and someone else just erases it. Exactly. I feel like there is a glitch in the matrix. Correct. Okay, you all really looping for me. Uh-oh. What do you mean? I restart. I don't think I'm looping. I mean, I'm not looping here and I'm watching the stream. Did you try refresh? Every few seconds you're restarting. Yeah, twice. And now he's frozen. Am I frozen? I'm not frozen. Look, I'm moving. I'm dancing. All right, let's see. They're going to prop up some conservative blowhard, get him on the ticket, and Cheetos will be his VP pick. No, can he be? Can he? He can't be vice president, can he? I don't think that's how it works. Check your news speech, maybe. Okay. I went to public school. Come on. It's not on my end. Okay, cool. Then that guy will unlive. Oh God, no. Don't even say that. Don't say that. Part of the 2025 project. He can't run for president, but he can't be vice president. I don't think you can do that. Bro, if he does that, that is definitely, I mean, if people do not see through that, jeez, man. He's going to put Vance. Vance is going to be like the ticket for president, and he's going to pick him as his vice president. That's not democracy. How is that even possible? That's not, man. No, listen. That's going to be a huge issue if that happens. But again, my point of all this is not so much about him coming back. My point is that it's any sitting president has 4 years to do whatever he can with the country and whatever. But you would think that you want to hand over something that is working, something that is going to, everyone's going to be like, yeah, but it's going to be working. Yeah, because you freaking shut down more than half the freaking government. Oh, man. Taxes are due, and I'm supposed to be doing my taxes this week. I'll probably push them to next week. But yeah, I got to get them done this week, maybe by this weekend. But the idea, honestly, my thought process has been like, what is the point of doing taxes when half the IRS was probably fired and nobody there knows what the hell they're doing? And even if I am owed a freaking refund, which I usually am, I'm probably not going to get it because no one knows what the hell they're doing there because they've all been fired. So what's the point of paying taxes right now or doing your taxes? Fucking crazy. Anyways. All right, let me read this last statement, then I'm going to start working here. And I mean, if you guys want to keep talking about stuff, I will talk about it as I'm working. I'm just going to read these last ones first. No, not Vance. They want him to stay around. The guy is almost 80, God willing. Oh God. Nah, it was my Twitch being twitchy. Oh. A twice before elected president may become vice president either through appointment or through election, and like any other vice president may therefore succeed the office of the presidency for the full remainder of the pending term. No. That is horrible. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. The audio is cutting out a lot. It's wild. Anybody else having audio issues with me? I'll take a look and see if there's anything in the background here, but very strange. Very strange. I did. I said it twice. Hold on. I'm going to hear myself. Hello. I'm going to hear myself. All right. I'm listening to my own stream. All right. I'm listening to my own stream. I don't seem to be cutting out. I'm listening to my own stream. I don't seem to be cutting out. I'm listening to my own stream. I don't seem to be cutting out. Oh, it is twice. Oh, it is twice. Oh, it is twice. Huh. Okay, hold on. I got to figure this out. All right, let's see. Okay. Okay, so I'm saying a statement now. Let me know if you hear the statement twice. Okay. There you go. I don't know, man. It's weird. I mean, I'm not replaying it. And I'm muted on both. The YouTube stream is way behind, by the way. Live chat. YouTube stream is like way behind. I don't know why. There we go. I just forwarded, but okay. Very strange. Okay. Anyways, I was gonna do something here. I was trying to remember. Oh yeah. Let me go back to open file. I gotta go to study time. See, this is what you get for pirating game software before internets. Better internet. I'm curious though, what could be causing it? I have no idea. Only heard it once, and I'm muted. Was twice. If the watcher refreshes the YouTube, it will catch up for a bit. Ah. It was twice? Really? What the fuck is going on, man? I don't understand. Let me put it on my headphones on. Hold on a second. Okay, testing. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not I'm not doing anything. I don't know what's going on. It's not me. I did nothing. Is it really happening? That's so crazy. Ah. Okay, I'm going to say something and see if I can hear it here. All right, I was muted. Let me do that again. So let's test this out. Okay, I checked it on YouTube. I'm checking it on my iPad, and there's no echo, there's no loop, no nothing. So I don't know what you guys are smoking over there, but it's working fine on my end. By the way, don't wear that shirt outside. I think you're part of the South Side Banana Gang, probably. That's I cannot. I don't. I was like afraid to wear this here. So mockups, huh? Neat. Yeah. Thanks. All right. So I've been working on these mockups, and I'm going to talk about this, even though it's like some people are like, "Why are you sharing your secrets?" Well, what's pretty cool about these mockups and the way they work now is that I can actually use the same, as long as it's the same ones. As long as it's the same ones, same size and everything, I can actually just go to one of them and I can add an image. I'm going to grab any image right now. Actually, I have to do this to a couple of my drawings, but where the hell is that? There it is. Okay. Where's my downloads? So let's say I grab this image here. This is great because let's grab this image here. Perfect. So I grab this one. This is from my Instagram. And I'm going to put her there. And beautiful young lady. And let's say I was selling that print. And I'm going to go ahead and close this. Check it out. Boom. That's right. Just having put it on one. And now it's sized on all of them. And then I can just simply export this. It's amazing. Oh, it's your fault you started it. Said every lady I ever met. Nice. So that works out really great. So obviously I'm not going to use this one, but I just wanted to test that works. The only problem with this, they're all this one size. So they're all specifically like an 8x10 size, let's say, but they're in different styles. So that's just great. And then I can export them all in one little trick. So I have to do this for these here, but notice they're all different. So if I tried to do that same trick, it doesn't work because, for example, I'll go to here. I'm going to open up another download. Let's find something that is a horizontal. Do I have a horizontal? That's fine. So I use this one. Press enter. Save. And it only goes on that one. So that's a problem, obviously. So that's where we don't want that. So let's go ahead and undo that. And what we want to do is we're going to find one that we like. And in this case, I've already done this. So let's say this one, for example, this one down here. I really like this one. I'm like, oh yeah, I like that one. That's a good one. It's plain, it's bohemian, it's fine. But I'm going to go over to, let's see if I can bring it up. I don't know if you knew about this about Midjourney, but in Midjourney, if you go to edit, and I was doing this one, if you grab, let's say, that one image I was looking at, which is this bottom image here, there it is right here, this one. I'll take this image and then I put it over here and I retexture it. Now that image can be retextured to any style, any color frame. So what we're going to do is we're going to download one of these. And by the way, I didn't use the same prompt that I was using when I first created this one. I just used a prompt to change it. So let's say, for example, we'll start with the black ones. So I want to use a, oh, you know what? I should be doing this way. It doesn't matter. I'll do it here. Okay. So let's say we're going to use one of these black ones. We want something that kind of will highlight the image. A gray wall is not bad. I was going to do this just regular black, this regular white wall maybe. There we go. So we'll use this one. So we're going to go ahead and download this one. And we're going to call, I guess we'll rename it after it's done downloading. Okay, now we'll go to the next one. This is going to be a gold style. So we're going to look for a gold one that kind of looks like something that people would have at home. Now we can go with this style, which is basic. This is too no, I don't like it. I kind of like the wallpaper look because maybe you have wallpaper in your home. Maybe. So I kind of like that. That's a little bit different. So I might use that one. So let's go ahead and download that one. Okay, now we go on to the next one. And now the next one is a light wood colored frame. And we're going to use a different one. So let's see. Now you notice that they all have vases, but it doesn't matter because it's a different vase. So we're going to use something that is generic. I think this one works well. And this one as well. I think we might use this one. This is a regular wood frame. Let me look at this frame. It's a better wood frame, but I kind of like this. Let me see. Yeah, that's good. I like this one. So let's use this one here. So we're going to download this one. Oh, by the way, that's going to be hard to do. No, it's okay. We can still do it. Download that. We need 5 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now we're going to grab a dark wood one. Now we don't want a dark background, so we want to keep a light background. This is a dark wood with a light background. This is a gray. This might work, but I still think it's a little distracting. And this one would work, but I still think it's a little distracting. So I think I'm going to go with the standard one and use this one. So go ahead and download that one. Okay. And then the last one is a white frame. Now, it's like a whitewash. So we're going to pick one that is kind of a generic background. Like this one might work. I think I like this one. Ooh, hold on a second. I don't want it to get lost with the background. This seems like it loses it. I think I like this one. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so we're going to download that one. So there we go. So now we have the files that we need. So we'll go ahead and get this out of the way. And so now we're going to find our files in downloads. And we're going to rename these. Now there's an easy way to rename these, but I'm just going to do them manually. So I'm going to say white one. This is brown one. Light brown one. Gold one. And then black one. Okay. So I've got them all. So first things first, I'm going to look at this here. I'm going to get rid of these images. Best way to do that is just go in here, delete it from here, and then press save. By the way, those should be actual a little translucent. And I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Just get rid of her. Save that. Perfect. I need a little bit of background music here. So once we do that, we're going to be redoing all of these, and I'll show you why in a second. But first, let's drop them in. So I'm going to go to this one here. I'm going to make sure that I'm doing the first one. I'm going to go up to this and drop this in place. I'm going to make these bigger so that I can see them, see what I'm doing. I'm just going to put this in its place right there. Now, here's what's interesting. I'm going to do this. Actually, I don't have to do this. Let me do it the other way. Hold on a second. Back up. Where is this one? Okay, so it's there. All right, I'm going to do it a different way. Watch this. I'm going to give you a secret that I have. Don't hate me. I'm giving this away for free. So watch this. So I'm going to get rid of all of these except for 4. Okay. So we're just going to drag them right over. Delete that. Delete that. That's 3. Delete 3. And then keep 4 and delete 5. So this is all I have. Okay. With me so far? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of, actually, I don't have to get rid of this. This one is already done. So all I have to do is take this picture, which is the same exact picture. I'm going to drop it on the corner here. It's probably exact same size. 200.29. I can write those down, but I'm not going to. I'm going to press enter. Actually, I could. That way I can just enter that so they're exactly the same all the time. Let's do that. Hold on. So 1025.50. That's both of them. So times 2. And then it is, make sure it's complete. Yeah, it is. Okay. And then this size is 200.29%. That's the actual size, right? Is that right? Let me make sure. Let me go ahead and go here for a second. No, that's the one. Because it might go a little bit too out. That's it. All right. And then press enter. Get rid of this guy. Rasterize this bad boy. Now, before I do this, I'm going to do it all in one single stroke. Or I should say in one movement. I'm going to do all of these at the same time. So we're going to drop this in. Oh, wait. It's in the wrong place. One, two, three, four. Okay, all four are there. Select them all. Hate when I do that. Okay, there we go. Where did I write this down? Oh, it's right here. 1025.50. Okay. Can't ever get that. 200.29. Perfect. Okay, so they're all the right size. Make sense? Makes sense for me. Okay, perfect. Now, we're going to do something else. I'm going to turn all these off. I can rasterize each one. All right. I'm going to go to this one here. I'm going to select it. Turn that off. Turn these on. My only problem with this is that some of them is too far into the frame. So we don't want to do it that way. So we're going to do it a different way. Hold on. Yeah, that's the problem. Now, assuming they all have the same inlet, we're hoping that they do, but they might not. Hold that. We're going to go to each corner. Try to get everything from the white or shadow. Okay, so before I do that, I'm going to click off of this because I want to see them all. That one looks good. Oh, wait, no, the top of that one is wrong. Yeah, that's missing. So I can't do it to that one. This one, the side is wrong. So see, they're all just a little bit off. This one, this side is a little wrong too. And this one seems almost perfect. So I think I can do it to this one. And I can do it to this one. Okay. So both of those are done. So unfortunately, I have to do it again. I always have trouble seeing like the corner that I want. Now, a lot of people are like, why aren't you using shift to do a straight line? It goes right under it. The problem is that sometimes the shift will straighten the line too much and the picture is not technically straight. There are parts of it sometimes might be a little bit off. So that's why I'm doing it manually. Okay, so now let me check the other ones real quick. This one is one of the ones. Is that good? Nah, the bottom is wrong. So there we go. That's not going to be right. How about this one? Bottom's off on that one. Okay, so we're going to use just it. We're going to use it on this one. So we'll do delete there. That one's done. Go to the next one. Because you want the frame opening to be smaller than the actual image that's being put in there, so that it looks like it's behind it, not on top of it. So that was fine. I think this might be exactly like this one. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, see, these two work together. It's a little off at the bottom there, but I think it might be okay. I think I'm gonna, all right, I won't half-ass it. I'll do it the right way. Let's just go ahead and get rid of this one. So that one's done. And do one more. I always have to click off of it with the select tool or deselect tool, because otherwise I'll be drawing lines across the board again without refreshing it. I gotta get some music going. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. So we got all of them, right? Perfect. Everyone's like, yeah, what's the big deal of this? Well, you'll see this in a moment. So they're all on one. They're all in one. That's the trick. Everything's on this one artboard. Right? Isn't that amazing? Yes, it is. And that means if I change this, and by the way, I want this to be, the fill needs to be kind of like lighter, right? Maybe it's not the fill, it's the opacity on this one. Yeah, let's do it about 75. Perfect. Okay. I think we could do a manual. Have this one here, so it's in the background. I don't think it really matters, but there it is. Okay, perfect. Now, check it out. So now we have this. We're going to take, and let me save this, by the way, because just in case it messes up. So I'm going to close it. Oh, it's not part of it. What is going on? Hello? Were you not in the right layer? There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, now close that. Now we're going to take this one, and we're just going to duplicate it. Do it with the plus sign. Bam. We're going to do it again. Bam. Do it again. And one more time. So I have 5 of them, right? Perfect. Now, obviously, I don't want them straight across like that because that's just difficult to work with. So I like to put them all in stacks. But before I do that, I am going to label them. So this one's going to be mockup 1. This one, which is the next one, is going to be mockup 2. Art mockup 2. This one's going to be art mockup 3. And the reason you're doing this is because when you export them, you want them to have the name that you have here. So whatever name you put on this artboard is the name of the export. Oh, I messed up. That one's 5. This one's 4. Okay. So now they all have their names. And beautiful enough is the fact that I need to move them around. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to click on my artboard tool. I'm going to leave 1 and 2 next to each other. Then I'm going to grab 3. I'm going to put 3 down here. Enough space. I'm going to grab 4. I'm going to put 4 next to them. Make sure that I align them properly. And then I'm going to put 5 down at the bottom next to it. And it's going to be about the same. Perfect. And make sure I click off of that. Move everything to center. Scroll in a little bit. Perfect. All right, so now they're all done. But you're saying, but Nord, are you crazy? They're all the same files inside. Yeah, you're right. They are. So what do we want to do? We want to get rid of anything that is not the ones we want to use. So, for example, we're going to get rid of this one. Then we're going to go to 2. And we're going to get rid of the first one, leave the second one, get rid of the last 3. Then we'll go to the next one. Get rid of the first and second, leave the third, get rid of 4 and 5. Then we go to the next one. Get rid of first through 3, leave 4, get rid of 5. And the last one. Get rid of all the first 1 through 4. And now they're all different. There we go. So now we have the black frame, the gold frame, the light brown frame, the brown frame, and the white frame, whitewash. I'm going to make this a convert to smart object because I like to keep smart objects. Not that I'm going to resize it, but for me, it just works better. This is just a habit that I like to do. And then I'm also going to lock each one of these and make these ones red. We want to lock them because we don't want them to be moved by mistake. And we want to make them red because we want to say, hey, do not mess with this file. There we go. Okay. By the way, this layer here is kind of useless. Let me show you why. Where's that girl? I mean, I don't really need that extra layer. If I wanted to keep it, that's fine. Like I can do this and then it's in that layer. And yeah, if I wanted, I could do this and this would work also. You see what I mean? Like if I wanted to do that, I could. Because it would be like right behind it. I could just turn off the green and there it is, it's working. But that's having to manually do each one. And some people might want to do that. Maybe you want a different one on each one. Maybe. So that's there in case you want to use it. But for me, I go to the rectangle here. And by the way, this should be renamed. Actually, let's just say art. I'm calling this, I'm just saying art here on these. Now this should work, and if it doesn't work, then I have to figure out why it didn't work. All right, so there we go. So now we're going to go over to the art mockup 1, which is the bottom one here. We're going to double click on the art here. This is, it should be, I don't know if it's the right color, but it doesn't matter. Then I'm going to put this in its place right there. Now, I could be under it if I wanted to. It doesn't matter. I'm right there. Yeah, let me take a look at something real quick. What happens if I'm underneath? Ah. 1 second. Just want to double check something. Okay, yeah, these are all smart. Yeah, because that becomes that was a rectangle. Got it. So it doesn't matter. This piece right here is really, I'm going to go ahead and make it lighter. just for funsies. People can erase this if they want to. It's not a big deal. This just shows this is the entire thing where it's going to be at. You can turn it off if you want. Once that's there, then I'm going to go ahead and save. And it's a rectangle. It doesn't have to even be there, to be honest, but it doesn't matter. Just leave it alone. Close it. Say yes. And now they're all in that. This is what the problem is. Oh, I figured it out. Okay. This cannot be. This should be at 100%. Now, for your own sake, you could add a hue and brightness or hue and contrast or something on it if you wanted to make so that it's not so bright, because maybe the print is not going to be that bright. Mine is, but I'm just saying. Like, I personally would probably like it a little bit lighter, but that's fine. So there it is. See, mine are on luster paper, so it's going to be semi-glossy, so it is going to be nice and bright like that. But if you wanted to, you could simply just say, hey, I want it to be, is it 95? Yeah, maybe 90. So you could say 90. And just to give you an idea of what that looks like side by side. It's just a little duller. And you can do that because there's nothing wrong with that. It gives it a little bit of dullness from the fill. You could get into doing a whole saturation, a hue and saturation layer if you wanted to, but you really don't need to do that. Just drop this down to fill 90%. Sorry, I'm doing a different one now. That's that one. Did I do this one? No, I didn't. Okay, 90%. Okay, that one, that one, that one. And the last one, I believe it's this one here. Okay. This is just a sample image. I'm not selling this image, but so there you go. So all you had to do was change one. And they all changed. Great. Now, if I wanted to export these, come on, come on, come on. They should be JPEGs, not PNGs. So I'm going to select them all. I'm going to say JPEG. That way they all change. Because if you only do the top one, then only the top one changes. Okay. They are selected, so you don't have to keep them all like that. So as long as they all have a check mark. Then I'm going to go export. I'm going to just drop them into downloads. It doesn't matter. And then you'll see them. They're there. Perfect. And now you can see each one. And you see how only, let me switch. Watch the frame. So just the environment changes. Doing me confused, but I am full. Nice. Now you get it? So now basically it's the same composition of the layout, of the mock-up layout, different frame, different environment. Same image. Works. So that's why that's what the whole point of this is. The only thing And some people would say, by the way, I like to take, I'm going to take off the image because I want to save it for a second. I have to save it without the image. And I can put any image there and it'll do the same thing, obviously. So I'm going to get rid of that image. I'm going to put it back to green. I'm going to go ahead and say yes here. Okay. So now I have it. This is the way my template would be. And I'm going to go ahead and save this. So now I have one for, oh, sorry, girl. I got to get you rid of you, too. Supermodel. Okay. Get rid of you. Say yes. Okay. So this is something that some people would have a problem with. They'll be like, that's great. And it's one size. But what if you wanted to show it in a smaller size or a larger size of that aspect ratio, or a different aspect ratio that's horizontal mumbo jumbo? You know, maybe, or same thing with the portrait. Maybe that you wanted a bigger frame, instead of it being a 4:5 ratio, what if you wanted a 2:3 ratio, or a, you know, whatever other dimensions you're offering in? Because obviously you're offering it in, I think it's 5 different dimensions. So you would have to make different sets of these. Now, you don't necessarily have to use all 5 of these. You can pick and choose which ones you want to use. But the difference here is that if you wanted to use one size, different styles, you just drop in the image and export it, and you're done. And that works. Now, here's another quick little tip. By the way, I've been off to the side the whole time. I'm sorry. Here's another quick tip. If by chance you wanted to do this individually, you wanted it to be like, yes, I want all 5 and I want them all on this one file so that I don't have to open up separate ones, but I want to save different images to these ones. Well, you can do that too. And the easiest way that you can do that without having to use the way I'm doing it is that you can use these layers down here. So if, for example, I wanted to, let me grab 2 different images. So if, for example, I wanted to grab this layer and drop the wolf there, the wolf is going to be behind, like I said. You can piece him where you want. I'm going to make this a little bigger. The wolf is behind the green, so I'm not using my smart objects. I'm literally just putting it behind the last layer, and I'm going to turn off this top layer. So there's one. Now, maybe on this one, I want to add a different image. So I'm going to just grab, the balloon girl. Okay. So first of all, I got to make sure I select this layer, and then I'm going to drop her in here. And then again, she's in the last layer, the bottom layer. So this is why she'll be behind the frame. So I'm just going to try to fit her in there. There we go. And then I can just go ahead and turn off that top layer. So there she is. So once again, there they are. Now, I would have to probably change the opacity if I want to make this one 90% on the image. So I can do the same thing, and I'll do that to the wolf one as well. Did I do opacity? I think I did opacity. I should have been doing fill, but okay. Let me just double check. Yeah, I did fill. Oopsie. Okay, so let's change that back to 100. Go to 90 here. Doesn't really matter, but I just like to keep things consistent. So there we go. So I could do this and still use the same file, and then when I export, it'll be one of each. And why would this be good? Well, if I'm working on multiple, let's say I have 3 of these sets of different sizes, but same horizontal way. Well, that means that then, and I'm going to make another one in a second. That would mean that I can then take and put 5 different images on this one, open up the next set, put the same 5 different images on that one, open up the next set, do the same 5 different images. And when I export each one, I just finished making 3 mockups for 5 different designs. Saves me a lot of time. So that's why this. And the reason I do it this way is because otherwise, I would be working on a file that has one mockup only. And then I would close this up, open the next file only, change that one, close that one up, open another file, which would have this one only, and so forth. And let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way I was doing it. But for me, it was just so freaking time consuming. So I like doing it this way. This gives me kind of two ways of doing it, where I can do the same image on all of them, or as I'm doing with this here, I'm just going to copy it. Doesn't matter. I mean, I could have just put a layer in, but it doesn't matter. All I'm doing is adding a layer to there. And that's it. That's all we did. And therefore, I could, like I said, I can use a different picture if I want to introduce a picture in itself in there. I'm going to make this, let's make this light, like violet. This is a different option. And that way I can do it that way if I wanted to for different pictures. And I can name that. So why am I doing these files? That's the next question, right? Other than saving myself time, because I'm going to use them for me. The other reason I'm doing this is because I can now package this and sell it. Why? Well, because if we go to Etsy, and I do frame mockup, you have people selling frame mockups. But here's the difference. They're selling you one frame mockup, just that frame. And let's read the instructions. It's a PSD file in Photoshop. Double click your design, which is exactly what I'm doing. Place your artwork in the new file that pops up, save and close, and your mockup is ready. It's doing the exact same thing I'm doing. It's at a 5:7 ratio. So it's a 5:7 ratio image, but it's only one file. And the only difference that they gave you is that one of them, well, that there's a layer to add a matte or no matte. That's the difference. But it's only one file, one frame. So there are others. There's people that do a mock-up bundle. All right. So like, for example, this guy, $2.49 for these. But let me tell you that more than likely, and I can read this and I can look in their description, they're giving you all these mock-ups, right? Which I think is great, because that's great. It's a bunch of different ones. I don't even think these are specific aspect ratios. They're just basically just randomly done on AI, which I do this all the time. The problem with these, some of these are not like, that's not a ratio. That's wrong. But anyways, the problem with these is that this is just a JPEG file. These are not PSDs, which means that you would have to do what I did as far as like doing the whole, cut it out, add the design, the smart object, and creating that smart object, which is not just dropping a smart object there, but kind of yes and no. Anyways, you would have to do this to all of these that you want to use. Why would you do that? When you can just, if you're going to do that, you might as well use AI to create your own mockup and do it yourself. So this is why, for me, this would be somebody that does not have access to Midjourney or to any other AI creation, so they have to pay someone to do this for them. Now, if I look at their listing, it says all mockups are provided in a high resolution PNG format, but that does not mean that they are ready to use for you to drop in an image the way mine are set up. So this is the bad part about these. People will buy them and be like, "Oh, so all I have to do is just do that?" Yeah, because you know why? You could just cut it out and drop an image on there. Or you can put the image on top of it and then just cut it to size. But if it's not the right aspect ratio, it's not going to perfectly fit your image, number one. Number two is that you want it behind. So you're going to have to cut out the opening and you're going to do a little work on these. And like I said, unless you don't have your own way of doing AI and creating your own mockups, that's why you're buying this. But because you're going to do the Photoshop work. That's number one. So let me just say this. If you are working with print on demand or on Etsy to make mockups and whatnot, I know it's a little bit expensive. I know it's an extra $20 a month sometimes, but it just pays to have access to some kind of an AI platform, whether it's Midjourney or Leonardo. I'm going to show you something else real quick. Let me switch over. So the same thing with Canva. So I'm in Canva now, right? Let me go ahead and switch over. So with Canva, I took those same mockups that I had earlier and I put them in here. And these are the different ones. These were the ones I was working. These are 4 different ones here. And I made these available on Canva. And they have this smart object inside. They're called, I don't know if they're called frame mockups or whatever they're called. So now if I go to, if I'm going in here, and I'm going to go to upload. And I'm going to grab this image here. This is just a random image that I have. All I have to do is do this and drop it. And it puts it right into that image. Now, let's say I wanted this image here. Okay, I'm going to do that. Just drop it. There it goes. It puts it right in the image. Now, does that mean that it's cropping it? Well, if I double click on it, you could see where the image is cut off. So it fits it to the frame, but enough to where it will crop whatever. It centers it, basically. And you can align it however you want, if you wanted it bigger or whatever. Same thing with this one. If I double click on this, it shows you top and bottom. Maybe I don't want to cut off her head. So I'm going to scroll her down a little bit, still keep her in the frame. And then there we go. She's a lot better there. But this is the same. So this is the same concept that I was doing with the other ones, except it doesn't fill all them at once. You have to actually put the image on each one separately. So then you would do that. Let me change this image. I don't like that one, so I'm going to delete it. I'm going to put the same one on it, and I'm going to double click so I can bring her down a little bit. There we go. Okay, so now I have 4 mockups ready to go. Just like that, really quickly. So if I'm using Canva, I can use these, and then all I do is download them. And they download, and then I put them up on Etsy. So that's the other thing. If you don't use Photoshop, then you create these on Canva and you offer them to people on Canva as well. You can I can share this. So that's the other thing. I do really believe that you should invest in some kind of an AI platform if you are using print on demand, if you're selling printables, print on demand, whatever. And the reason I say that is because why are you going to spend even $2.49 or $5 on 100 of these that you have to edit yourself to get them to work the way you want and fit your image listings there? If you're going to do that, you might as well go in here, go to image creation, and then type in something along the lines of Okay, so let's say I just do this. I don't know what setting I have this on. I think I have on Flux Dev. Flux Dev is fine. So I'm going to generate 4 of those and see what happens. I should have given it, actually, I should have done a 1-to-1 ratio. Let me do this real quick. Let me do it again. Okay. So you can do this. Wow, I'm going to turn my light off. I'm sorry. You can see me in the dark. This is fine. This is more than enough light. I'm like, that light is just blinding. Okay, so there we go. So we have some frames. Now, obviously, we'd have to work on the frames. It's unlike Midjourney. I can't do the whole change of frame to a different style. There is a way of doing consistency, but it's a little bit harder on Leonardo. I need to learn that still. But here you go. So there, I just made my own mockups really quickly. I can take this, download it, throw it in Photoshop, and do the same thing that I was doing. So why would I pay somebody else if I have to do the actual work myself? But again, this is great. This is why you need to have an AI platform to make your own mockup images. You don't like bohemian style? Okay, no problem. Let's do a Victorian Rocco Victorian, or is it Victorian? Let's just do Victorian Rococo living room setting. Okay, let's try that. What's it going to give me? The idea here is I'm just showing you an example of multiple styles that you can create for mockups. And you can also do just a freaking white living room. There it is. There's another. So here you go. You can get a little bit fancy. Okay, so you can also say mockup image for frame art print, brown, simple wood frame. With no image inside, in a simple minimalist, simple white living room setting. And I will do that one. Okay, there we go. So now we have again, these are huge. So you might want to do, I mean, obviously you're going to have to tailor this mock-up to be like a small frame, small picture frame on a mantle, on a table, whatever. So you don't have to do the poster size. But here's the other thing. They are huge. So I might want to say mock-up image for a 4:5 aspect ratio. Let's see what this does. I don't know if it understands that. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does. I've tried like 8:10. I've tried saying 11:14, whatever. And sometimes it just doesn't pick that up. So the only thing you can do is just keep generating them until it gets to one you want. Like, see, for example, I know by eyeballing this is not a 4:5 ratio. So it's hit or miss sometimes when creating these, but eventually you'll get the ratio you want. So that's the idea, is like you keep trying, but sometimes it just doesn't read this. You could say 8:10. I don't think it still works. I've done it before. It doesn't work. But either way, there you go. That's a way of doing it. There is another way of doing it as well. You can take the frame and remove it from here, and then, or remove the frame, make the wall with nothing on it, and then take the frame, put the frame back in, and just resize it, give it a drop shadow. Good to go. Obviously, this drop shadow would be better because of the fact that it doesn't look like it's getting the features of it, as opposed to something like this, which is showing this huge shadow here. So that would be a mistake. So you don't want to do that. Anyways, so obviously there's a lot of ways to work with it, but that's kind of the idea. If you're going to use Midjourney, obviously I've done several mock-ups on there, but don't spend your time buying these if you have to do the work yourself. I get $249. That's cheap. And you know what? Here's the other thing. If you're not going to use AI for anything and all you need is mock-ups and you don't want to pay $20 a month, then yeah, go ahead and buy these. $2.49 is less than $20. But I guarantee you, if you're doing listings on any platform that you're selling on and you need listing images, you're probably better off having an AI platform that you're paying for that you can get your own mockups. But if you don't need them and you want to just buy a couple handfuls here and there, I've done it, is you just go in and find some that work. Obviously, this is a retro style. That's $11. That's pretty expensive for 50 ones. I got to double click on that. I got to see this. So a lot of times I look at these because I'm wondering if they're giving you PSDs or whatnot, but they don't. I don't think so. By the way, here's the other problem with these. Unless you know that you have to skew the image, which I do not believe these are set up that way, even though it says you can use it in Photoshop for Photopea. Let's take a look if they're giving you. Let's see. No, that's just the frame art. I want to know if they're PSDs. No, that's not doing anything. Let me see. Instant download. What's included? Okay. Yeah. So here it is. It says 50 PSD files with prepped smart object layers. Perfect. Then they already have this set up for you. And this is great. It is in a retro style if that's what you're going for. And they're giving you 14 templates that are 2x3, 10 templates that are 3x4, and 9 templates that are 4x5, 2 that are 11x14, and 15 that are ISOs, which I believe those are the A1, A2, A3, A4, all of those. Cool. So that's a good buy. Now, $11.31 is pretty expensive, but if it has all of that done and it's the proper aspect ratios and you're looking for retro, then yeah, I guess that works. Doesn't work for me. Here's another one. 100 frame mega bundles. Are they, I don't even want to look at them. I just want to look at this down here. Compatible, Photoshop. Double click on the smart object, copy and paste your design, save and close the smart object. Okay, so these are PSD files. These are ready to go. $13 for 100 of them. That's freaking awesome. So there you go. That's another bundle set you can get right there. Now, I'm assuming that when you see these slanted ones, that they are making it that they're already skewed. The rectangle is set properly so that it actually skews it for you. So that's good. Yeah. Not bad. Why are they 2000 by 1600 though? Aren't they supposed to be 2000 by 2000 or 2048? I don't know. I wonder. Okay. Well, there you go. So that's the reason why we're doing all these. Now I got to set up another set here. So now I need to find one that has a smaller style, smaller size, and see if I can change it. Because we have, I would say that this is it's an 8x10. I would think it's an 8x10. That's really what fits there. So that's a 4x5. So that really is what I should be calling this one. And actually, this is the 4x5. This one, I'm not sure what it is. I can tell you in a moment if I fit something in there. What does this look like? No, that's not an 8x10. That's not a 4x5 ratio. I think this is 2x3. I'd have to measure it. But either way, so let's look at something else that's not so, that's a little bit different. It may be smaller, but we don't want to be so ornate. So let's go to my downloads. I'm going to look for this files because I have some already. I just need to find them. Did I have them in downloads? I think I did. Yeah, so we want to look for, let's try these first. Something that is more like kind of narrow, like this one here. This might work. Can I just open it in Photoshop right there? So that's a little bit more narrow than these. which I believe that's like 24 by 36, which is a 2 by 3. I'm pretty sure that's a 2 by 3, which is different than this one. Let me take a look at this one again. Yeah, that might be an 11 by 14. Okay, so there's that one. So that's good. So we're going to grab that one, and we want to get one that is horizontal as well. And we want it to be different than the other one. Hold on, let me see if I can find a good one. I think this one, this might be good, except it needs more space at the top. I gotta find one that has like space at the top as well. There was one that had flowers in it. That might be okay. Okay, I think this one would do. So let's grab this one. Put this up here for a second. Okay, so that's not terrible. We can use that. Oh, I got 2 of them in there. Okay. Okay, that's good. I think that's still 2 by 3. And we're just going to grab one more. Let's see. Do I like this setting? The setting is nice because it's got some plants on the side. I think it has a window there. And it's got some pillows at the bottom. So I could definitely use this one as kind of what I want to use. What about this one? This one's a chair and some stuff here. This might work as well. So I'm going to keep both of those. What I have to do is I have to make these 248 by 248. So I'm going to crop these in a second. Let me find one more. That might be okay, actually. Yeah, let's use those 2. So that would at least give me 2 different ratios. There is one more I want to find, which is going to be kind of... see if I can find this. It says shops. It's going to be... Is it prints? I think it's prints. And then it's going to be frame art. And we're going to find one of those gaudy ones, but we're going to change it up. So let's see. I think it's Christmas, horizontal, room, mockups. Let's try this one. Yep, there we go. Okay. So we want one that's sitting on a table, kind of, or smaller version of it. Like this is probably nice, but it's blocked off. This is too, I don't like that ratio. All right, so this is not good. Let's try another one. Let's try this one. Look for one that's sitting on a mantle somewhere. Like this is fine. This one with flowers next to it. I like the fact that this is a little bit bigger. I'm wondering if it's still going to be the same size. We're going to test this out. It's going to be fine. Let me see. Let me just find one that has a good... That one or this one. Sorry, I'm kind of... you know what? This might work. This is like 11 by 14. I think this one will work. Yeah, that works. Okay, let's do that one. Now let me see if I can find one that's sideways. I don't think I have any. Let's look for a 2 by 3 horizontal. These are all vertical. Can't believe I can't find one. I wanted something on a mantle, but I guess I can use this one. Yeah, we'll use that. We'll see if we can change that one up too. Okay. So this is what I want to do. I want to grab this one here. I'm going to select all. Nope, we can't do that. All right. So then we want to... Okay. That should be good. see pixels for a second on that. Should be bigger, but 950 by 950. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and save these. So we're going to export each one. See, this is what you have to do separately if you had to do it this way. So we're going to export. We're going to drop it into downloads. We're going to do redo one. Ooh, I don't like this. Hold on a second. Did it cut it off completely? Oh, no, it's still there. Okay. I want a little bit of the flower, so I'm going to keep that one like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and export this one. Call this one redo 2. I'm going to do this one here. And that's fine. It's a little bit of a skew on it. Redo 3. Not sure if that one's going to work, but we're going to try it. And then this one, let me turn that off. That's fine. Let's call this one export. Redo 4. Perfect. Okay, so now they're all exported. We can get rid of this file. We don't need it. We're going to minimize this, and we're going to go over to Midjourney, which I believe... Do I still have it open? I do. Okay, perfect. So we're going to grab these images here. And we're going to make the same idea. So first of all, we have to go to Edit, View All. I'm going to do New Edit, Upload Image. We're going to try the one that I don't think will work first. And that, I believe, is Redo 3. What time is it? It's 1 o'clock. How long have I been on? 2.5 hours. Okay, let's try this first. So what I want to do is I want to restructure. I'm going to leave this whitewash wood frame mockup in nautical living room style. Early morning lighting, no ornate. Simple whitewash wood frame. So now let's see what it's going to give me. Submit this texture. I'm hoping that it's not a big clunky frame. And so we might have to do like thin and see if it does it. I just have a feeling it's going to give us, yeah, like some corner stuff like this. So we got to see. Yeah, it's still, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's because of the style of the frame. So the only other thing I can probably do is try to say simple, thin, and see if that works. No ornate, bulky corners. I don't know if that's going to work, but I'm going to try it either way. That's the only problem is if you're picking this, it's still going to use the style, you know what I mean? Like the shape of it. So this might not work, but maybe it might be okay. We'll have to see. We'll have to try it out. So we're going to try whitewash again. I knew this one was going to be a question mark. We might find a frame that's okay. Like it's not a terrible frame. But yeah, you see how it has this corners? So I would probably have to go, if I were to use this one, I would probably use something like this. Maybe that one. Maybe that one. Let's try a simple light brown. Let's say thin also, just in case. I don't know, it's not going to matter. And we're going to try the bohemian living room again. Boho, just boho. Boho living room style, early morning. Let's leave early morning. Let's see what happens. Again, it's just because of this stupid thing. I could fix it first and then use it, but no, it's all right. It's okay. It's okay. Let's try it. Like I said, I might not even use it. We'll do the other ones. We want about 5 of them, 4 or 5 of them. Okay, so yeah, it's still going to do that stupid corner stuff. Oh no. Yeah, I definitely can't use this one. All right, so now we know. What I want you to see this though. If I do gold, it's going to work. It should be fine. It's just because it's gold and living room. Let's do Victorian. Watch this. Let's see. I mean, it'll make it gold better than dark, but still, it's not what I want. So the lesson we're learning here is that remember that even though you're able to change the texture of it, you can't get rid of the shape of it. So it's going to use the shape of the actual frame, right? Yeah, I mean, there you go. Like, that's a nice one. I would probably use that one. But again, a little bit too over the top, too ornate. I would have to change this. So let's go to edit. And in edit, we're going to change the frame. Simple thin wood frame mock-up and Victorian living room style. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, no ornate bulky corners. Let's see what happens. I don't know if it's even gonna do it. It's gonna try to do it. And we're gonna see. We just want a simple thin frame. So let's see if it gives us with no crazy corners. All right, so that's better. So now we don't have crazy corners on this one. So let's see. Look at this one. Okay, it changes the aspect ratio a little bit, but that's a square. So this might work. So now let's take this one. I can run it again and say no ornate, but whatever, it's fine. So let's say we're going to take this one now, and now we're going to go and do simple, thin, light brown wood frame in boho living room style. I'll leave early morning lights. I'll leave no ornate bulky frame corners. I'll take off corners. I'll just leave no ornate design. And let's go ahead and run this. Oh, wait, we want to do this in texture mode. Okay, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's go. So now let's see if it works. Okay, so we're getting better. But you see how this is a weird design? We don't want that. This is somewhat okay. It still has those little corners. Yeah, so it still has those stupid little corners. And it's because of the fact that the original has these cute little fringes on the side. It really needs to be a simple frame. Now, you can get as simple as you can. Maybe not Victorian, maybe. But the problem is at the setting of this. So this isn't going to work for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. Can I go to View All? And I'm going to go ahead and select all of these, and I'm going to delete them. I think I can just delete, right? I thought you can delete these. I know you can delete this. Do you hide them? Maybe you have to hide. This is the only part of this whole website Midjourney stuff that I don't like. You can't delete stuff. You can hide it though. So I'm going to hide it. So therefore I don't have to see those again. All right. So instead we will move on to, let's do number 1. Oh, it's another one of those. Okay. This might be okay though. I don't know. We'll have to see. So we're going to retexture, thin brown frame, early boho. Let's see what comes out. No ornates. Oh, I wish I can get rid of the mirror. Is it going to have a mirror? Oh, I don't like the mirror. That's all right. Let's see what happens. I might have to make some new ones of these. I don't really need these. I just need the big ones anyways. Yeah, see, it's getting the little bit of ornate. That's not terrible, though. I don't know what's going on with the freaking mirror frame behind it, though. Yeah, see, now that's a cardboard. That doesn't look right. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not what I was looking for. But let me try black frame. And let's try a modern living room, and it's gonna put something in the background. It's fine. Let's try early evening lighting. Let's try that. It's gonna have the little waves on it, unfortunately. They have to be just regular simple frames. Once they're ornate, then you're done. You can make a simple frame into an ornate frame, but you can't make an ornate frame into a simple frame because of the shape of it. I think that's the problem. Like this is a simpler black frame, which is not terrible. Like I could use these, but I want to stay away from this kind of stuff. Like this isn't terrible. This one I could probably use, but that's not what I'm looking to do. So let's go to view. Let's go to new. Let me try one more. Redo number 2. All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to simple black frame, whatever. Let's go ahead and run this one. See what it gives us. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and run a simple thin light wood, light brown wood frame in boho living room. Do that one. While that one's running, I'm going to do one more, but I'm going to do this one in French, country French. And do that. I'll run it again. This time I'm going to do the whitewash in the nautical style. Thin. Change this to morning. Okay. Just did a couple of them just to run through them. So this is the black one in a modern early evening. Notice obviously the lighting as the sun is going down. Depending on the artwork, I mean, this part's not going to be shaded or yellow. You're going to put your own artwork there. This might work for some people, but I like to stick to stuff like this. So this would work. This is a nice one. If I look at this one also would work. What's the difference between these two? There's a bench on this one, a wooden bench, and then there's a regular gray. Okay, so then that's fine. Then there's this one here. Again, this one would work. It's a little bit more like the tone is different. It's warm, but it doesn't matter what's in the middle of here. This is all going to be gone. So let's look at the boho style. Again, this one will work. This is a nice one. The shadows are fine. Same thing here. I like that one too. That's a good one. It's another good one. Even if it has a shadow there, I still would like it. Now let's move on to I don't know which style was this. I don't remember. This is a light wood style in a country French. So it doesn't change that much. Very similar styles. But yeah, plenty to choose from there. Okay. Very similar though. So you have to pick a couple from there. All right, what's this one? And this is in a, what did I say? Nautical. And again, this is supposed to be whitewashed. There it goes. So this is a whitewashed one. Now there's not a lot to work with. So we could change the wall and say nautical living room style light blue wall. Just to give it some color. Oh, I got to do this on this one. I'm sorry. Actually, let's do it with that one. That's fine. Let's go ahead and submit that one. That one's going to run. In the meantime, we'll look at these. What's this last one? See, that's not terrible. But we want to change the wall, so let's see what happens to the wall. Does it give it a light blue wall? Maybe. Yeah, it does. So there we go. So now we have a light blue wall. It's got some pink pink stuff there. Oh, this is a nice one. So you could change if you wanted a little bit different, you could do that. This is a nice one. I like this one a lot. And there's another nice one. So pretty good. Now, what if we wanted something like, let's go, we went with this and we set something like thin back frame mock-up in a modern, eclectic, colorful, bright living room style. And we'll do late afternoon lighting. By the way, you do know the time of day has different lighting, and it does on whenever you're doing like, let's say if you're doing AI pictures of like a photo shoot of a woman or model, whatever, and you're putting her by a window, that lighting that you put in, like late afternoon, early evening, early morning, midday, whatever, all of that affects the picture's mood. It's so cool how that works. But yes, the lighting does make a difference. And it picks it up most of the time. So let's see. So I'm going to run this one to see. I'm looking for something colorful now. I'm just curious to see if this is going to work. And by the way, after this, I think I'm going to start heading out because it's almost been 3 hours and I really need to get working on some other stuff that I don't do online. But I'm very surprised that I actually shared this with live stream, because a lot of this stuff, like some people ask me like, why do you give away your secrets? I'm like, it's not really secrets. Like, other people know how to do this, but maybe they're not showing other people how to do this. And I don't mind sharing it. I mean, at some point I'll even put together a video and kind of like walk people through this. But the idea behind this really is that once I get enough of these going and I create enough sets, I'm obviously going to be selling these. So if you're like, I want to use this, but I don't want to take the time to make them, and I just want to buy them already made, well, guess what? I'm going to have them ready for you. And they're going to be cheap, because there's only going to be like 4 to 6 per each one. And I'm going to keep the price very low. It's like, hey, you get a couple of different ones and there you go. And I'll give you a set of different aspect ratios. All right, so this one works with the color. And the reason I was doing colorful is I wanted to see the pillows a different color. So like for this one, for example, there you go. Now we got some colorful pillows. Look at these. There you go. So now there's some color in it. The other ones were kind of like all the same. So these give it a little bit of a of a little mixture. Let's take this one step further. I'm just curious. I'm going to give it a living room style with a terracotta wall color. All right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it on this one. I'm going to submit that. I'm building a listing photo template where I do the one smart object and it updates every artboard, and I can do different sizes and placement frames using these smart frames, and it auto assigns the frames perfectly. Okay, hold on. I got to read that again because that's the issue I was running into before. It's a listing photo template like we're doing with one smart object, and it updates every artboard. I can do different sizes and placement frames using these smart frames, and it also auto assigns the frames perfectly. Okay, I need to see that. All right, speaking of which, this is my last one here. So look, so it gave me the terracotta wall. Now maybe you want this. Maybe this is the style you're after. This is why this is cool. So I do like adding color to the board. This is probably my favorite right here. So I'm definitely going to mess around with this and do my next set with some colors on them. Right? Just make it stand out a little bit more. Doesn't have to be dark. It doesn't always have to be like this. But this is kind of nice. I like that a lot. Perfect. I want to see what you're talking about, Brink. You want to show me? Can you want to show the people, or can we get on Discord and see it? Because that's what I was trying to do, and that's the reason why I started doing sets instead, because I had to keep all of them into sets like this, the same ones, same size, same ratio, because otherwise it would not work properly. Unless you're going in and changing the rectangle itself. Yeah, I want to see how that works. Cool. So this is going to be an extra layer. Yes. Let's get Brink ready. Where's my... Okay, so this is the last thing I'm going to do. I want to see this in action. Brink is going to show us. And then we're going to go ahead and close out the stream for the day after this. It's using a frame I bought, so I don't know how it was built, but it works. Well, let me see how it works, and maybe I can figure it out. I just want to see it. Because that's the other thing. If you get the one file that works regardless of the size of it, I'm going to join your call right now. Then you just duplicate that artboard and change the background image. It should work. Let me join the call. What's going on, man?
Hey.
Okay. Let me turn you down over here. Okay, cool. All right.
Let me
share that screen.
Let me share my screen. Let's see. Let's go to...
I'm assuming that you guys can hear him on the thingamajiggy. Okay. Let me pop this. Yeah, let me pop it out. Hold on one second.
Let me zoom in a bit here.
Why can't I
make this a little wider? Oops.
Okay, here's the pop out. And can I make this full screen? There it goes. Okay. All right, it's full screen. So
yeah, I did what you did was I made the artboards.
Mm-hmm.
Or I made a artboard. So this was so I named it the master smart frame because this is the one that I'm going to edit, and then it updates to the other two.
Okay.
And then I just duplicated it and then changed the background artwork.
Okay.
So I duplicated it so that these frames are copies of this frame.
Right. Okay. I don't see your arrow moving because you probably don't have the mouse pointer, but that's okay. I understand what you're saying. You're saying this first one on the left was the original.
First one on the left.
And then you made these duplicates. Gotcha. Okay. And
right, so
you resized it though.
One,
Okay.
Yeah, so I resized and repositioned the second frame and the third frame.
Uh-huh.
They're both different sizes from each other. Like the one on the far right is a little bit smaller.
Okay.
So they're all different sizes, different positions, which is
Okay.
what wasn't working for you before.
Right. Well, mine was different aspect ratios too.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well,
Are these the same
so
aspect ratio?
these are the same aspect
Okay.
ratio, but
Well,
they're in different.
that's
They're
good.
different scales.
Okay.
They're different scales and
Mhm.
different positions.
Okay, let's
So
look at that, because that is, the same aspect ratio is nice, and especially that there are different sizes or in different placements. So
Right.
that's definitely a good thing. So
And then,
what did you do? Did you just did you drag
so this is
them?
the frame. So let me see. Hold on. Let me I lost my where it was. Let's see. So that's the shadow. Okay. So here's the frame. This is the folder for the frame on the right.
Okay, I'm
And
watching.
then you double click here. And then I'm going to drag in an image. Let me just find one real quick. I think, is that a 3:4 ratio? I think it is. We'll drop this guy in here.
Okay.
Done. Close that. Save it.
Okay, so it puts them all. Nice. So the question is, when you made let's say you're going to make another artboard now of it. Did you duplicated this first artboard and you dropped in a different image that had the size of this frame already? Or did you zoom into it?
No. So no, I duplicated the first artboard on the left.
Uh-huh.
And then I deleted everything in the artboard except for the frame.
Except the frame. Okay.
And then I replaced everything with the artwork, like these different shapes, like these cactus.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
Question is, how did you get the frame this big?
I just resized it.
How did you resize it? Did you click on the design? I mean, on the frame object and the design? Because there's a mask to it somewhere.
No, there's no mask.
So there's no smart object mask or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
Interesting.
No, it's just the frame. So if you look on the right, on the layers panel, let me see if I can zoom this up.
There's a smart object frame. For sure. There's a frame.
Yeah. So it's just, you have the frame itself is a transparent image. And then you have, this is the pass through for the mat. So it's basically just a mat. And then you have the
shadows.
Shadow
Okay.
underneath in the frame. And then you have your smart object for the actual image. And then you have the shadow under the frame. And that's it.
Okay, so the frame, I understand how they did it. The frame itself is, okay, this is what it is. This is the difference. Your frame is separate from the actual background image. So in other words, if you turn off on that first image, do me a favor, turn off the frame. The frame layer.
On the first image?
On the first image that's the one you bought.
You mean on the
one on the left, that one. Artboard one.
Left, yeah.
Turn off the frame.
Right, so
turn off the no. Turn off that whole group. Okay. That's the difference. So the difference is that the mock-up image.
Well, yeah, it's separate.
It's a whole
from the background. Yeah.
Exactly. That's different than what I'm doing, and so this would be the way to do it, because of the fact that what you're doing is, well, first off, it's the same aspect ratio. That's number one. So you are using the same aspect ratio on a frame that's the actual layer itself, and that layer you can actually you can pull and resize it because no matter how big you make it or how small you make it, the design, the smart object inside of it is going to adjust, and that's fine.
Right.
And that works. What doesn't work is that if you had multiple aspect ratios and you could not use it the way we were using it. That's what the problem was.
Yeah, I mean, the aspect ratio doesn't really matter.
It does. No, it does matter. Really. Well, hold on a second. Let's think that through.
I just make a separate template for landscape photos and just use my landscape frame.
No. But okay, you can't do a 3:4 and a 2:3 aspect ratio, and it's not gonna be the same smart object.
Listing photos, why do you want to use multiple aspect ratios? Why not just use one?
No, you're right, and that's fine. What I'm saying is that if you did want to use different ones, because maybe if you're a buyer that's looking to fill up a certain wall and be like, I need.
Oh, right. You're talking about like maybe one of your listing photos is like a postcard that's 5x7.
Yeah, or one's a 24x36, and then the other one's an 8x10. So those are different aspect ratios that you're going to show differently, so that you can't have on the same set of artboards. I wish I could do that. I wish that there was a way that would be like, oh yeah, we know to like, just crop it out for this, but it doesn't do that. There probably
you could, because the frame is a smart object, you could take the whole frame and just change the layout of it to where it's 5x7.
Well, you could probably do that. Like, in other words, it would just, the actual smart object would be behind the frame. Yeah. You could do that. It would just crop it out.
Like you could take this whole frame. Let's see. You could take this whole frame, like the one on the left, and you could go to. I guess you would have to do.
So you couldn't.
You'd have to do each one. You'd just resize it here in the transform panel to a 5x7 ratio or whatever ratio you want.
Well, you would just probably have to make a frame. Like you said, make a frame without the smart object, just a clear frame with the clear inside that would be 5x7, let's say. And then you would put it to cut off whatever it would cut off. But you would have to then, you would just actually resize that original frame so that the smart object gets resized, and then just kind of like you put the other frame on top of it. That's all it is. I mean, you could do it. It could be done. I'll have to test that out. I'll try that out. That's different than what I was doing. Obviously, that's just the frame layer that you can move around any way you want and resize it. I was dealing with background images that already had frames that you have to actually. Yeah. You
would have to cut the frame out of your background image and make it its own object.
Or
you just buy a frame like these and slap it over the top.
You know what else I could do? Oh, no, I can't move it. Moving it around is
When I make mock-up images on Midjourney for like these listing photos, I do it with no frame on the wall because I just insert my own frame.
Right. No, I know what you're saying. I'm trying to think. There is a way to do it. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like one way that you just put it into one smart object and then be able to move it around without a mask. So no mask, just a smart object that you can actually move around and resize. Yeah. There's got to be a way. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to try to work on that later today. Cool. Well, thanks for sharing this, because I mean, this makes a lot of sense as far as if you separate the frame from the actual background image, and then you could just resize that aspect ratio.
Right. And I bet if you were to do this and sell mockups, because I've kind of considered doing this too, it would be better to do these frames separate like this, because then you could sell them as a bundle. And then, like, when people want to do gallery walls where they'll show a bunch of frames on one, they can just collage it and make it,
That's actually really smart, because originally I was doing that on one file.
Ones.
Yeah. I think I have a Christmas one like that.
And I've got some collage ones.
Yeah, that's a good idea. There you go, brother. So smart. See, Brink, this is why we keep you around.
And here I thought it was because of my winning personality.
Well, sometimes.
Okay.
Less numbers if you're messing up my counting in my head on this map. 4 by 5, 7, 8, 9, 10.
32, 76, 45, 19.
Coordinates 672 latitude by 942 longitude.
3, 4, 87, 9er, 1,000.
8675309.
309. That's gonna kill us.
She's gonna come after us. She knows where we live. All right. Good stuff, man. Anything else you want to show us?
Nope.
Nope, that's it.
That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Check his stuff out. Smarty Pants Design on Etsy and on YouTube. I mean, no, Amazon. That's one of his main places. Smarty Pants Design. He's all over the place. Redbubble is 7 Relics. Bird. Wait. Let me see. Birdhouse Prints on Etsy.
Birdhouse Printables.
Birdhouse Printables on Etsy. How many stores do you have?
I have 8.
Jeez. I only know 4 of them. I only know the Smarty Pants Design brand on Amazon. The 7 Relics. 7 Relics on
So I have
Redbubble.
2 Etsy shops, 2 Redbubble shops. There's 4. I have multiple brands on Amazon, so we're not giving.
Oh, he sells the adult stuff
so
on Etsy. So that's the ones he doesn't tell me about. I've got
TeePublic, Teespring, Threadless.
Jeez, man.
So yeah, that's 8. I feel like I'm forgetting one. No, just 8.
Holy moly! There you go. And I thought I had too many. He sells his OnlyFans bathwater streams on Etsy.
Yeah.
He probably does.
You weren't supposed to tell anybody.
He says it's
You're not getting a discount anymore.
Just toenail clippings. Toenail clippings in a little glass jar.
No, my OnlyFans is just pictures of ceiling fans.
Yeah, right. Only fannies. Someone else needs to prop your shop. Mama's broke. Hyde, you should start selling your bath water. I'm telling you.
Okay. You guys are gross. I'm leaving.
All right. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for showing us this.
Bye.
Something else to work on.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
And he's gone. All right. Now we can talk bad about him. No, I'm just kidding. How do I get out of this? Oh, there it is. No. End full screen. End full screen. Thank you. Close that out. Anyways, all right, cool. Anyway, that's the fun stuff I have for today. That is all we got. It's time for me to go. He's still there. Damn it. We're going to talk bad about him. Too late. Anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Got some stuff done. At least I worked a little bit on some things. I also got to show you guys some things. And we had a great political climate conversation. Not my thing to do, but hey, sometimes you gotta. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for hanging out, Brink, Hyde, Vox, Guino, Loco, all regulars. Appreciate you guys always. They're the only reasons why I do this. Everybody else that watches the VOD, I appreciate you. I'm just like, you watch, it's good, but otherwise, this is the crazy crew that gets to hang out and see me do my shenanigans. Thursday we got Red Dead. That's assuming that we have that schedule to do. So yeah, there's that. So that will be on Thursday. Unless something else comes up. My wife is on vacation this week, so we are hanging out, and we're gonna be doing some outings tomorrow. So let's see how everything works out. So until next time, take care of yourself. Do something fun. Do something that makes you happy, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else or yourself, and it's not just selfish, hedonistic, or self-gratification. It's all good. Yeah. We'll talk about that another time. Until next time, take care. I'm out. Peace.